I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rocket, Knicks University main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night podcast. Salute to my guy Andios. Andios is in the building. Salute. Y'all make sure y'all follow Andios on Instagram, on IG. Check him out, man. Hit that heart button, man. Show some love for my guy, for sure. Salute to everyone watching us on YouTube, everyone watching us on YouTube and on X. Just wanted to get on and rock the mic a little bit. We were gonna do old school Knicks, but it's Super Bowl day. Right. So I just I finished watching the Super Bowl a few minutes ago, probably. Maybe like most of you did. About 7:30, I guess we knew who the winner was going to be. You know, the game started at 6:33, about 7:30. It was like, yeah, we know who's going to win this game. So salute to football fans and baseball fans and NASCAR fans and everybody out there. This show right here, man, I'm going to focus on or try to stay focused on what happens next for the Knicks. What's going to happen in this stretch run here? Like, there's no more trade deadline talk. There's no more wild what the team is going to look like when such and such get back talk. Now it's about, I think the Knicks have played 50 games or thereabout. I'm going to check just to be sure. Let me see. Just to be sure, I'm just going to double check to see how many games the Knicks have played. So the Knicks have played 52 games. So what are the Knicks going to look like in the next 30 games? Right? Salute to Fritz Alcindor. Pastor J is in the building. Salute. That's my guy. Pastor J, man, love you, bro. Much love, man. I got to talk to you at some point, man. I'm gonna call you. Molly Mall in the building. Salute. Danny Landis is in the building. Salute. Jay Smooth, what's good? Josh Smooth is in the building. Salute. Amani the Great is in the building. Salute. Yeah. I didn't do a show Saturday night legitimately because I'm not one to really like bare my soul on the internet. And Saturday, that loss to the Celtics kind of destroyed me. I ain't even gonna front. Grown up, older than most of y'all. I'm probably old enough to be y'all young, handsome uncle, right? But my thing is, Saturday night was disappointing on a lot of levels. It was like a chin check, right? Boston kept hitting us on the chin, and we wouldn't throw punches back. Now I know what people are gonna say. Man, Jalen Brunson scored. So I don't care nothing about what points Jalen Brunson scored. He was getting torched on defense. Right? He was getting torched. He was getting to. Did we lose yesterday? We lost. Was it Jalen Brunson's fault? No. What I'm saying is we have built-in comforts, right? We have these built-in comforts as fans. Like we'll say something like, well, it wasn't at least Jalen Brunson scored such as it. Nah. They ran mesh screens where legit whoever it was. I think I think I saw the big dude, the big center do it. He just came and just grabbed Precious and pushed Precious out of the way. Just walked Precious out of the way so it could be Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson can't keep guys in front of him. But it wasn't Jalen Brunson's fault? No. Cat shouldn't have played that game. Cat looked like a zombie out there. Why did he play? Cat looked like a zombie out there Saturday, right? Cat looked like a zombie. He shouldn't have been playing. Would the outcome have been different if OG was there? No. If OG had played, because you could kind of play that game like, well, what if OG and Mitch were there? And they could say, well, what if Drew Holiday and Porzingis were there? So that's the reason why I didn't go live Saturday. Because on Saturdays I work from like 8 to 8:30. Sometimes 9 o'clock because I have to close. Right. I have to close out these things. I ain't gonna get too much into it, but tax season, it's weird. It's just a weird time. So y'all bear with me during tax season. Right. So what are the Knicks are gonna just Knicks is in the building? Salute. King Ribby is in the building. Rib, salute, man. I have a lot of thoughts coming off that loss Saturday night. My main one is Tom Thibodeau Tom Thibodeau getting shown up in big games. Because the thing was, can Tom Thibodeau win big games? This past month, Tibs has shown he can win big games. But this Celtics game is like these Celtics games are our Super Bowl. Right? Right. Jerry Fitz is in the building. Salute to my brother Fitz. Salute to my brother Fitz. That's my guy right there. My thing is these Celtics games are our Super Bowls. We're a franchise that does not go to the finals, right? We don't go to the finals. We don't have league MVPs, right? We don't have and so think about this. I'm not bashing my team, right? I'm not bashing my team. I just want to give some context to the reason why I feel the way I feel about these Celtics games. right? So we don't go to the finals, have not been in a long time. No big deal, because I feel like we're on the way. No big deal. We don't have a league MVP. I don't know if the Knicks in their history have ever had the league MVP. I don't know. I can't remember if the Knicks have ever had the league MVP. If they have not had the league MVP, if they've had the league MVP, it was probably before my time. And I mean the league MVP as a Knick, not win the league MVP and then come here. We don't get the perks of a franchise that doesn't win championships, right? Like, say if you're Seattle / Oklahoma City, right? Looks like they're going to have the league MVP this year, and it looks like they're going to go to the NBA Finals. Right. Say, look at the Dallas Mavericks. They had Luka Doncic and they went to the NBA Finals. So even though they were not winning championships, you know, they have this thing to be ultra excited about. And so when we played the Boston Celtics, in my mind, this is our moment. Right. Yeah, that's right, Fritz. I see you. Yeah, Willis Reed. Yep. I was like 2 years old. Fritz, when that happened, Sesame Street had just started coming on. We were fascinated about this new TV show, Sesame Street. In the hood, Sesame Street, little monsters and puppets in the hood, speaking languages, and them people on Sesame Street used to look like our neighbors, right? Like, dang, man, Sesame Street is real. It's not like the Sesame Street wasn't like the Partridge Family, right? Where it's a band and they can sing and everything, and then at the 28 mark of the show, everything come around and is everybody happy, and then they'll sing about it. Come on, get happy. Right? Sesame Street was legit for us. Right? But anyways, the point I'm getting at is Saturday's game was disappointing because we lost by the same margin to the Celtics that we had been losing to them since we've been a lottery team. When we were winning 18 games, the Celtics were beating us by 30. We made all that progress. Right? All us doing all these trades, acquire all this talent, do all that stuff. Man, feel good about ourselves, and we're still losing to the Celtics by 30. And so, in my mind, I know the Knicks are in a different place. I know they caught us at the right time to give us that 30 piece. But my heart is telling me that we shouldn't be losing to the Celtics by 30 points on national TV at home. The Boston Celtics should not be beating this Knicks team on national TV by 30 in Madison Square Garden. Now, I already know what we should do. And what we should have done by now is picked ourselves up, dusted ourselves off, and get ready to continue. The season's not over. But this was a rude awakening for a fan base that thinks Cleveland is soft. This is a rude awakening for a fan base that thinks the Celtics can be had. If the Knicks are losing to the Boston Celtics in a nationally televised game by 30 or 27, whatever, 27, 30, 29, 26, I don't care. It's all the same. The Knicks lost to the Boston Celtics by 30 on national TV at home. Right? Right? This team lost to the Indiana Pacers in a game 7, a deciding game 7 in the Garden in a blowout. So will a team with their second best player injured, excuse me, y'all, excuse me, I'm sorry. So should a team like the Knicks, could a team like the Knicks lose to the Celtics by 30? Yes, in Boston. In Boston, absolutely. In New York, nah. Nah, man, we can't. I watched their young coach draw up a simple play for Sam Hauser to get a 3-point look. Sam Hauser didn't get a chance to shoot the 3 because the Knicks recovered, right? But their coach drew up a play to get him a look. And then I watched the Knicks run a pick and roll, right, on a strong side pick and roll with Cat setting the screen for Brunson off a wing with Mikal Bridges tucked in the corner, and then on the opposite side of the floor, basketball heads, listen to me on this. On the opposite side of the floor, Precious Achiuwa was tucked in the corner, and Josh Hart was on the wing. If you're the Celtics, you only have to defend half the floor. Precious is not going to knock down threes, and Josh Hart won't shoot. So you on that side, you had Luke Cornett zoned up for Precious and Josh Hart, and then you got 4 guys defending 3 guys in limited space. Do I think the Knicks win 50 games? Absolutely. So the Knicks are going to win. I'm in that mindset that so they have 30 games left. I think they'll probably go 20-10 the rest of the way. Right? They'll have some impressive wins. They'll have some head scratching wins. Right? They'll probably have some losses in there, some schedule losses in there. So do I think the Knicks will win 50 games? Absolutely. But where do we go from here as a fan base? Because I feel like Saturday's game was a moment of reckoning for us, right? Like, I'm not going to legit sit here and pretend like I'm smarter than everybody. That's not what I do. I'm a real person, man. I only get riled up when people like try to attack me or attack people around me. That's the only time when I get riled up. Right? But for the most part, I live in a world where I understand where smart people can occupy the same space that I occupy. last night's game was disheartening, yes. But just like I mentioned before, like when we beat the Denver Nuggets, I was like, yo, that was one game in 82. When we beat Memphis, that was one game in 82. When we lost to Boston last night, I do understand that is one game in 82. But this one I don't like. So, what I ventured to do is ask y'all what y'all think. And I'm going to combine that with what I think. And maybe we can get some understanding of. Dang, I spelled NFL wrong? My fingers must be fat. I spelled NFL wrong, y'all. That's crazy. Yeah, this thing is weird. It won't let me edit it. I'll edit it on YouTube. Where is it? I edited it on. I spelled NFL wrong. That's crazy. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, man. I agree. Vanichi. I feel you. I feel you. JM is in the building also. We were a tier under teams like the Celtics and Thunder. We have to tweak the roster this summer. Yeah. Almighty Finesse is in the building. Snipes, what's good, bro? Fritz Alcindor is in the building.
Hey, what's up?
I
felt that beat down.
Tibs. Tibs, bro.
But it ain't gonna change. He is what he is. He is what he is. Was it acceptable to you? Is it like it's par for the course. I'm surprised I'm just surprised you were taken by surprise. I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I was kind of surprised it was 27, but I didn't expect us to win.
I have a sense that it's something that goes deeper. I think it's something that goes deeper than just Tibs, bro. I think the Celtics own us.
They do.
Yep.
They do. They're bigger. They're just. I don't think we have a plan for them.
I think you're missing my point, bro.
Huh?
I think Jason Tatum could have sat last night and they would have still beat us by 30. I think the Knicks are afraid of their jersey. That's what I'm saying. I think the Celtics own the Knicks, regardless what players are on the floor.
So we lost before we walked, before the ball went up?
Absolutely. Did you see how we looked when we came out to start the game?
Couldn't even
walk and chew bubble gum.
No.
I think the Celtics own us in that Debo level of ownership. And I'm not saying the fans, y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. Right? I'm not talking about y'all. Right? Right. Like, so I'm not disrespecting y'all. I'm not coming at y'all like that. What I'm saying is they had Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis out. They had a center you never heard of getting major minutes. They had a dude we cut outperform our all-star starter center.
Yeah.
For Shizzers in the building, salute, my guy.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And so the thing is they didn't make it ugly. That game last night was born ugly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they coasted. Like you know how there's usually like, oh, in the third we started fighting back, and then they got it early and they just coasted.
There was a moment in that game where the lead, and I said this on Playback TV, and I'll say it again for those that were not there. There was a moment when the Knicks were down 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Coach Malpica, I told King Ribby, and some others. I was like, yo, the lead is 5. Watch we come down, take a strange 3 and miss it. They get the rebound and go down there, and they're gonna hit a 3 and they're gonna blow us out the building. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that's how the Knicks do it, because we don't have quality depth. So if the starters chip a 19-point lead down to 5, what's going to happen when you start substituting?
Yeah.
The guys that couldn't hold the lead are going to give that lead back up, and the lead is going to balloon. Mm-hmm. Right. But how it played out was differently. Right. The Knicks had a 5-point deficit, and somehow they let Mikal Bridges touch it, and he hit a baseline jumper and cut to lead to 3. And it shocked me. I was like, yo, they understand that you have to chip away at this thing. You can't just keep throwing haymakers at teams. Like Boston, you're not going to be able to hit them with a haymaker. Boston's not going to die. Right? This is not David and Goliath. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? This is Luke versus Darth Vader. Not only do you have to chop his hand off, you have to throw him in lava and put him in a pit. You know what I'm saying? It's not David and Goliath, like you hit a big dude with a rock and then everybody, yay, we won. Nah. Right? So what happened is, I just want to refresh everybody's mind. So we cut the lead to 3, right? They come down. I think they get a real phony looking foul. If the order is right, they get a real phony looking foul on Deuce McBride and Derek White. Right? Mm-hmm. Some weird phony looking foul.
I remember that one.
Right. But instead of, and so here's the thing, everybody. Instead of Tibs challenging, right? Instead of Tibs challenging, he didn't challenge. And Fritz, they went on to get that lead. Because remember, at halftime, the lead was like 14, right? Remember that? It was like a 14-point lead.
Yeah.
They went on after that and steamrolled us, right? And the reason why Tom Thibodeau should have challenged right there in that moment is not because he would win, right? It's because a normal timeout is 2 minutes, right? But if you challenge, you let your guys can sit down for about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, right? So even if you challenge and lose, the guys that cut into the lead get off their feet for about 7 minutes instead of 2 minutes. But Tibbs didn't do that though, dog. Teams do that to us all the time, right? Fritz, how many Knicks games have you watched when a team goes on a run, a call goes their way, and the coach challenges, and you're like, why is he challenging that?
That was obvious. It was obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, why is he challenging that? See, he's challenging it not because he wants to win the challenge. If he wins the challenge, good. But he's challenging it because it's like a triple timeout. So even if you lose the challenge, you were gonna it was unfavorable anyway.
Mhm.
There's only upside to challenging, right? There's only upside to challenging in that moment. Because think about it. If you get to rest your guys 7 minutes and they overturn that call, you hit the lottery on that play. Right? Because now the guys that went on, I think it was like a 20-5 run or something. The guys that went on a 20-5 run, you get to rest them guys for like 7 minutes. Right? You get to rest them guys for like 7 minutes. Now they can go on another run after that. But he didn't do that, man. He just walked around and looked crazy in the face. Tibs was just out there looking like Redman. Y'all remember the rapper Redman? He just like, Tibs, straighten your face up. Right? He out there looking like Oscar the Grouch. That can't be, your strategy can't be looking like an old school rapper, bro. That's your strategy? HRM is in the back. HRM was right. Hey, HRM is my Cody on that. HRM was there when I was saying it. I'm like, Tibs, you got to challenge this play, bro. You got to challenge this play, not because you're guaranteed to win, but your guys that dug themselves in a hole, dug themselves out of a hole, and now they're tired. Just challenge it so those guys can rest. Fritz, he didn't. And then I also saw last night where every time Cat caught the ball inside the 3-point line, every time Karl-Anthony Towns caught the ball inside the 3-point line, they were going to double, right? Because they know that Queta or Luke Cornett can't guard Karl-Anthony Towns. They tried it once, and Queta got dunked on by Cat. Remember that? Remember there was a play at the top of the key, right, where it was just Queta versus Cat, and Cat went around that dude so fast and dunked on him at the rim. Right? They knew their backup bigs couldn't guard Cat because their starter can't guard Cat. Right? So every time, the thing that frustrated me is every time Cat caught the ball, right, they would double, and his outlets are Josh Hart and Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah. They aren't threats. They aren't threats to shoot. Yep.
You're bringing, bro, when you have Josh Hart on the side with Cat, Josh's man is just going to double Cat. He's not going to respect Josh Hart from the 3-point line. And Precious's man is not going to respect Precious from the 3-point line. If y'all remember, when Josh Hart caught the ball on the wing for 3, Luke Cornett looked like he was going to go, and then he backed all the way up to the corner, to the edge of the paint, and dared Josh Hart to shoot. And you know what Josh Hart did? He dribbled into the paint and got blocked by Luke Cornett that was just standing there with both his hands in the air. I'm not blaming Josh, because Josh has a purpose and a role on this team, and we need him. And I'm not blaming Precious, because Precious has a valuable role on this team, and we need him. But your coach has to find a way to best use his personnel. And by having Josh Hart on the same side as Karl-Anthony Towns is not it. Now, normally what they do is the guy on that side is OG Anunoby. And what OG Anunoby will do is cut off of that and may get a dunk at the rim. Or they'll bring Mikal Bridges to that side, and Mikal Bridges will cut off that, and Cat will find him in traffic for a layup. But Josh Hart ain't going to do that, dog. Precious ain't going to do that. And I do understand that the offense looks different without OG Anunoby in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the Knicks know that, you don't think the Celtics know that?
Yeah.
They the world champs, dog. They the world champs. They the world champs, man. There's a lot of things that man, that happened last night. What I'm gonna say is, this next 30 games is gonna be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. You think they learned anything?
No.
Me either. Me either.
Right.
Me either. I don't think they learned anything.
Yeah.
But
I think the only reason why Cat even played last night through that injury, I think the only reason he played, if this game was Friday night, I don't think he played.
No.
If it was tonight, he wouldn't have played. But since it's an ABC game, primetime game, Cat go out there, and he went out there and gutted it out. Yeah. Right? You can't say that for others. Because some guys get hurt and they be out for a calendar year. You ain't seen them since. Right? I ain't throwing no shots at a particular player.
Yeah. If it wasn't Boston, I don't think he would have played.
Yeah.
That hand, man, that hand.
Yo, when Mitch come back around Easter, I'm having Cat get surgery, bro. When does Mitch come back? Cinco de Mayo?
Now they're saying, oh, we're targeting March 1st.
Wait a minute, they're targeting March 1st?
Targeting March 1st. It's a pushback. So things ain't healing like the way they wanted to, because they was talking January and talking February.
They were talking October.
Yeah.
Remember when Mitch got hurt in the playoffs? They were like, yeah, he'll be back for the start of the season.
Yeah. But they said there's no setbacks. And I'm like, maybe he's just healing. He's 26, so he shouldn't be healing slow. Like, he's not old. But
yeah, I'm a push back on that just a little bit. I think that's absolutely old for that archetype center. Like the dudes that just live off athleticism.
Okay.
Once they start getting hurt,
the DeAndre Jordans,
you remember Josh Smith in Atlanta?
Oh yeah.
You remember Blake Griffin?
Yep. Yeah, when they just start, when it breaks it.
Bro, when the athleticism starts to, when the injuries start to catch up to him. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm not, so I don't want to, have this be about Mitch, because Mitch didn't play last night, but tell you who did play last night. Cat played and he looked awful.
Yeah.
He
didn't look right.
He
didn't look right. He didn't look right.
Nah, he shouldn't have played. Yeah, Cat shouldn't have played last night, but he did. Who else was questionable last night? Josh Hart was questionable last night too, right?
Yeah.
And he played.
Game time. Yeah, I think it was like a game time.
Yeah. 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 But even with all of that, Cameron Payne gave us an energy boost and Tibs sat him.
Yeah.
Tibs is like, what, a bench player thriving? Not on my watch.
I had a game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His game plan was his game plan was watch Jason Tatum shoot threes and Jalen Brunson face. And one of the other things I wanted to point out too is people have been telling me trying to sneak in this weird thing of Karl Anthony Towns at the 4. Right? They're like, yo, play Cat at the 4. And yo, and I've been trying to tell people, man, you have not seen a traditional power forward since before D'Antoni was here. You ain't seen a traditional power forward since. As a matter of fact, the Golden State Warriors ran traditional power forwards out of the league. Right?
Okay.
You ain't seen a traditional power forward is a guy that does the same things that centers do, right? But they're shorter. Right? Your power forward is gonna set hard screens, get you double-digit rebounds, protect the rim when your center is away, right? Both of them protect the rim at the same time, right? If that was the case, I would legit say, hey, man, play some Cat at the 4. But last night we legitimately saw Jason Tatum put Cat on roller skates and dunk at the rim. And that's what you're going to see from every big wing that Cat has to guard.
Yeah.
Right? Every Paolo Banchero, every Jason Tatum, every Evan Mobley, every Kyle Kuzma, right? Every Paul George, every jumbo wing that Cat has to guard in space, you're going to see him get dunked on at the rim or give up dunks at the rim.
Mm-hmm. I think most fans, when they think of that, they're thinking about our size problem. And if you put Cat at the 4, all of a sudden OG at the 3 isn't undersized. McCall at the 2 isn't undersized. So I think it's just they're just doing math and say, hey, we won't be small no more. But can't defend. Cat isn't going to be a defender for her.
Yeah, teams don't run 4s no more, bro. I mean, that's just what it is. Teams don't run. When's the last time you saw Jason Tatum catch a ball on the block in a post-up situation and just post up another power forward in the paint and back him down and work for position and score over another power forward?
No, he just does it smaller guys.
Right.
Whenever
that's what basketball players do, though.
Yeah.
Right. Like because for instance, if Jaylen Brown was guarded by Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown taking Jalen Brunson right down to the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just if there's a mismatch, right? Of course, yeah. But the thing about it is when you look at like Fritz, who's Oklahoma City's power forward?
It's not really a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Jalen Williams could be, technically he's in there as point guard. Sometimes it's all over the place.
Yeah, they just run a bunch of wings and a big.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like legit SGA is wing player size.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. As fans, I know it's a hard thing to swallow. Like basketball is a hard thing to, because if as fans, if we have this mindset where we're totally locked in on guys playing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then who plays point guard for the Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, chat. If we legit are playing guys point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, then who's the Knicks point guard? Can't be the guy that shoots all the time, because a guard that shoots all the time.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's why I thought they would have. I was kind of disappointed, trade deadline that they just didn't address. Yeah, I think it's just bad timing. It's like they can't address it now, so they're just gonna do what they can do for now and then address it later. But there has to be changes if we want to get into challenging Boston. There has to be changes.
I think so. My fear is that we are in the midst of a Boston Celtics dynasty and we don't know it yet. And my fear is that we are the Memphis Grizzlies of the Golden State Warriors dynasty. That's my fear. A very good team that won't be able to win because the team that's better than us in our division is younger than us and better than us at the same time. That's my fear. Right? That's my fear. My fear is that the Celtics legitimately are going to be this good or better for the next 5 seasons. And over the next 5 seasons, Cat will be 34, 35. Brunson will be 32. 33, 32, 33, something like that. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Only thing that's gonna mess up Boston is ownership not wanting to pay. Ownership is like, that's enough.
Of what?
Of paying all these guys.
For who you mean?
For Boston.
Yeah, they're going to pay their core pieces, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to pay their Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll move those other pieces though. They'll replace Porzingis and Drew Holiday and those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the problem is with the Knicks, we're at the point where we can't just be steady. We're gonna have to actually improve. Boston doesn't have to improve; they just got to keep it steady.
Yeah, they just have to be healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy. Over time, you're just swapping role players out. You're swapping situational players.
Right.
Honestly, Knicks guy going next season is like, yo, can we get a piece? Can we get a piece? And that's finding a piece is harder than finding just a situational guy who does one thing good. Oh, he just got to be able to shoot, or he just got to be able to just do one thing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, they have the formula. They have the formula down.
And so what I'm saying, I guess ultimately what I'm saying is I don't think the Knicks are in a bad position with Brunson, Bridges, OG, and Cat and Hart and Deuce. I don't think they're in a bad situation, right? I don't think they're in a bad situation, right?
It's finding what else.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is the orchestrator, the conductor,
Mm-hmm.
is not the right guy. The signs are pointing to that, right? The signs are pointing to Tibs. Man, this thing, bro. Yeah, how do you Sam Hauser comes off the bench and they immediately run a play to get Sam Hauser open, and then you got two all-stars that are getting smothered on your team and you can't get them open.
I don't know. Loyalty will kill you.
Yeah.
But we've seen this. Like, this is a reoccurring theme. This isn't a sudden problem. This is a reoccurring theme. And my thing is more of enforcement than Tibs just can't do it.
Yeah.
Because you have a bench behind you. You have 2 rows of assistant coaches behind you. And you trying to tell me you got 10 people behind you and they couldn't figure this out? No, he doesn't want the input from the 10.
Nah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? If I was Leon, I'm thinking as a manager, you got 10 people behind you. Y'all need to figure this out. If those 10 are no good, I could do 10 more.
Well, for one, there aren't enough tenured coaches there to check the head coach. Right?
No, I mean, there has to be someone he respects more than there has to be someone he respects. It's not even about
we're saying the same thing.
I know, but like I don't even think it's about tenure. It's just respect. Like,
Yeah.
how can you think you the smartest man in the room?
Yeah.
All times.
It's about tenure too. Because nobody's gonna respect you if you ain't never done it. Right? If you ain't never done it and proven it to nobody, ain't nobody gonna respect you, bro. Right? I mean, it's just a part of it. Like, you think Tom Thibodeau is gonna listen to like a young person tell him how to do?
No,
Nah.
if you can respect somebody's like, okay, I respect this person's knowledge. All right, I understand. Oh, this person has an interesting. This person has a good perspective. And we thought of last year we had what's his name, Bryant.
He younger than us.
I know.
Nobody respect him. He couldn't even get the Utah Utes job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He couldn't even get the job at his alma mater when his alma mater was hiring. Like Tibbs ain't gonna respect him. That was our fairy tale thing. Like, oh, Tibbs is gonna ride off to the sunset, and Johnny Bryant is gonna be the next coach for the next 15 years. Nah, that was our narrative. We made that up.
My personal narrative is not that he would have handed it over to him, but he would have understood his system enough to make his own. Okay, I'm gonna come in. We're gonna take some elements of Tibbs, but we're gonna start something new.
Right. And so the Knicks are at that sweet spot. The Knicks are at that honey hole of great offense, great defense, can't get over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Tibbs is the Marty Schottenheimer of NBA basketball right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where the offense looks great, the defense looks great. Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. Junior Seau is a Hall of Famer. Rodney Harrison is a Hall of Famer. But they don't win Super Bowls, dog. They don't even win big games.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are. Last night when we were watching when we were watching Jason Tatum take 30-foot threes, Tibs didn't even try to blitz their little pick and roll action with Cornette and Queta and Horford on the floor, or some combination of those three in those two spots. Why would you let Jason Tatum score 40 points in 3 quarters? Legit, that man could have went for 55 last night, right? Oh, what's the number? He scored 40 points in 3 quarters. That's 13.3. So that man could have scored 54 points last night, 53 points last night, if he had played in the fourth quarter. But we let him cook us, though.
Yeah. When I look at Tibs, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Tibs is a genius." I think he's more of a motivator. I see him more as a motivator than a clipboard guy.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
see the clipboard part.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe Jalen Brunson is, likes, playing for this coach, and he's motivated by this coach. But the clipboard lacking.
You know why he likes playing for this coach, right?
Because he grew up around him.
No, because he gave him the green light to do everything. Jalen Brunson has the greenest light on offense you ever seen. You have never heard them say in a press conference, Jalen Brunson need to pass the ball more. Jalen Brunson need to stop taking so many shots. You've never heard them say that. Tibs is giving that man so much offensive freedom that it overshadows those blown defensive assignments last night. Y'all not even talking about those.
But I think if another coach was in here, he would still have the green light. He would still have the green light.
Yeah, you're talking about on offense.
On offense.
Right.
You know what? I think if we had someone with a better clipboard, Jalen Brunson would get as many points, but he may not score them the same way. He might not score in the same way. I think he gets the same amount of points.
So my thing is Jalen Brunson is Tom Thibodeau's Derrick Rose. There's a pattern. Hey, I'm going to let this dude do whatever he wants on offense as long as my defense is in the top 10. Right? Like legitimately, Tibbs talks about that the game will tell you what to do. Bro, if the game telling you what to do, then what do we need a $10 million coach for? I think somebody said that. Did you say that, Fritz? Did you say that first?
No, that wasn't me.
That might have been Dre. I think then Dre said that then. Dre, I want to give credit to Dre for saying that. Dre was like, yo, if the game telling you what to do, what do we need a $10 million coach for? If the game telling you what to do. Now, I'm tripping about Tibbs after a Celtics loss. So if I come across like a sourpuss, maybe I'm a sourpuss. But if these next 30 games, though,
better show up in the second round.
Yeah.
But he's safe. He's safe for these 30 games, but
yeah,
I don't even think the Knicks is. I know a second round exit, but they might not even be safe in the first. Why not?
I think what we have to do in these next 30 games. Hold on, before I do that, before I get into that, I'm gonna grab a water or something real quick. I gotta make you laugh, but I'm gonna grab a water real quick. I'll be right.
Shout out to the chat. Let me see. We got Josh Smith up in here. Anthony D. Andios. Jeremy. All right. Just Knicks in the building. Oh man, I'm just so disappointed in that game yesterday. Just kind of like wire to wire with rest, which makes it worse. So there was no rest excuse. There was zero excuses except we were a little short, but they're probably more short than we were. So yeah, it was just disappointing. Home building, and this game was hype.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I ran 2 miles today.
Oh, okay. Pavement or treadmill?
On the treadmill at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it sounded like the Incredible Hulk on a treadmill. That treadmill will never be the same. So I went to a Planet Fitness, and so chat real quick before I talk about what's going to happen down the stretch, right? Real quick before I talk about what's Fritz. So I stepped on the scale, and when I stepped on the scale, I thought I was one weight, maybe a little bit heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And I stepped on the scale, and I'm a lot heavier, like 40 pounds heavier than what I thought. Like
Okay.
40 something pounds heavier than what I thought.
You haven't seen it in a while? You haven't seen it? You haven't been on scale?
I don't keep a scale. And plus, bro, I'm a big guy. How many scales you gonna have that's gonna go over 350?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like I step on the scale is like, oh, like legit. I stepped on a household scale, and the word Jesus flashed across the display. When I stepped on it. Chat, legit. I stepped on a household scale with the one in the house, the one we have, right? Because I think I ain't gonna say with any more like to be in like more like to stay in like under like a certain number, and she take that thing serious, like to heart, right? But yeah, bro, Fritz, I ain't gonna lie, I ran it, and then when I got to a point where I was gonna quit, I slowed it down and just walked like a little teeny bit, and then I cranked it up again because I was trying to hurry up and get home for the Super Bowl, right? Bruh, I sweated I think I stopped running at like 6:15. I didn't stop sweating until like 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And this is after the shower. Like, you know how you take the random gym shower, whatever. Bro, I gotta get back on it, y'all. I gotta get back on it, bro.
I need to. I need to too.
Bro,
I literally haven't been in the gym in 6 years. Wow. 6 years. Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, I know. I feel the one thing about me is I'm not like a shame-faced person. Like I feel like things are what they are. I can deal with it with stuff. So when it comes to stuff like, my weight or how I'm feeling, how I think about stuff, I don't mind sharing that stuff. Right? I don't mind, but I'm sorry, go ahead, Fritz. No, I'm a shame person. But I don't know. My thing is like, okay, if I'm doing what I need to do and just the numbers just ain't adding up, like what can you do? Like,
no, we are all in different situations. Like I'm not expecting you to be in my situation, bro. I don't expect that. I respect everybody's journey individually. Right. That's why I always speak to me and not what other people do. Because I could never have an understanding of what goes on in the life of somebody else. Right. But I do know me. Right. But bro, I ran them to, man, bro. Fritz, I got off that treadmill, and this lady had to be in her 80s. When I got off that treadmill, I bowed down, man. I had my hands on my knees. I was like, and she came to me, and she's like, baby, you all right? And I started to tell her to go, hey, go get me a honey bun and a pack of Newports. Stat! That's what I started to tell her. I started to tell her that, like, go get me a Bud Light and a honey bun pronto.
You at Planet Fitness, you gonna be in there on pizza night.
Yeah, bro.
That's like the most disrespectful thing in Planet Fitness is pizza night.
Yeah, pizza night, right? And so the reason why I did that, and I'm gonna get back to the Knicks talk, y'all, right? But the reason why I did what I did today is because I have a goal, and I'm gonna work my way to that's my motivation. Right. That's my motivation, man. If I can get down to 300 on the dot, then I'm gonna go to the Knicks training camp in South Carolina this summer.
That's your reward.
Yeah, and my reward is getting my name called on opening night.
Oh, you mean?
Of course, Tibs will play me, bro. I'm built for a Tom Thibodeau team, bro. Man, if I be at 300 pounds, man, Tibs, first of all, at 6'5.25", Tibs gonna lie about my height and call me 6'7". He'll be like, yo, he's 6'7" with sneakers on. Nobody played
man.
Good.
You ever been to Basketball Hall of Fame?
No.
Man, too many Knicks fans have never been. Too many. But I've been there once, and the one time I went, there was a college team visiting. University, I don't know what. It was in the South. Maybe
Right.
University of South Carolina, but they were like the guests in there. And they said, like, in the middle of Hall of Fame is a court. And he said, yeah, we're gonna run practice. That's how me and my friends like, yo, could we join practice? We joined. We doing the wind sprints. We did everything. And yeah, I beat a few players that night. I beat a few of the college players.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and shooting drills.
Yeah, I'm not beating college. I'm past my prime. But if Tibs needs a 6'7", 299-pound power forward, I'm there for you, Tibs. Yeah, if Tibs needs a 300-pound wing player, hey Tibs, here I am, bro.
Man.
But so the thing though about what's gonna be was on the horizon, right? I think the Knicks are gonna win a lot of games because this is the time of the year where the teams that are looking at their draft picks, they're gonna start losing. Right? They're gonna mail it in. Right?
Oh, the tankers. Yeah, yep.
The tankers are gonna tank, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The tankers are gonna tank, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Philly's about to join that.
Yeah.
You saw the excuse they put out today.
No, I didn't see it.
Embiid said, "Oh, he gonna need another surgery when the year's over, and that his knee ain't right." I said, "Oh, they just want to tank and they just putting excuses up."
Right.
But,
right.
I know, but the Knicks got a tough schedule. Knicks got a tough schedule.
Yeah. So
that's the only thing I fear is like.
So what are you thinking about that?
If this OG, they talking about OG's coming back after the All-Star game. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think they probably bringing OG back probably after All-Star game.
You trust him what the Knicks are saying about injuries now?
About Mitchell Robinson, I think he'll be back at some point, or they would have did something.
Yeah, I don't think teams
I
are
don't.
going to take teams not going to take injured players, bro.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they weren't gonna throw a whole bunch of picks just to get something lesser back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think teams are going to take injured players, right? Because this year's draft, you can legit draft you a guy that's going to get you 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could just go because the expectation for my guy is I think Mitchell Robinson is an NBA starter. Right.
If healthy, yeah.
The health concern puts this thing in my mind where, like, I don't know. Maybe my guy needs like a year and a half away just to get completely healthy. Right. And if that's the case, that's just the case. But if you're just looking for a guy that's going to play defense and get you 8 points and 8 rebounds, you can grab Yves Missi out of the draft like New Orleans did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so why would I trade for Mitch with injury concerns when I can draft Yves Missi and pay him $2.8 million
Mm-hmm.
to get 8 and 8 and play great defense? Now I think Mitch is more than just 8 and 8 on the surface. The end result, right? The effect is 8 and 8. The causality is not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's tough out here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had the punt. Yeah, like this is the year you had the punt. You had the punt. Like,
yo, salute to Ala Wise in the chat. Oh, Ala Wise comes straight in the door hating on Cat. That man hates some Carl Anthony Towns, bro. Ala Wise hate Carl Anthony Towns with all his heart. Like, that man absolutely hate Cat, bro. Like, I don't know whatever Cat did to that man. When I see Cat, I'm gonna be like, yo, you wrong for whatever you did to Ala Wise. Right.
Yeah, I think Cat. He's. I know they say he's gonna try to play in the All-Star game. I'm not.
Yeah, because he's a starter. I think he'll play like 10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
And you know what? I think Josh might make it.
That'll be great for New York, bro.
Because they gotta replace Embiid now.
Yeah. You gotta play.
But I'm not sure if they're gonna try to take another center. That's the only problem. And I think Josh is technically a guard, I think.
Yeah. If they don't give that spot to Trae Young, the All-Star game is fixed. It's rigged against Trae Young if Trae Young don't make the All-Star team.
But he didn't make it before when he was scoring 30.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was rigged then. I'm not saying that the rigged thing is new. I'm saying it was rigged then. Yeah. That man,
like 30. He was like 30 and
player.
12. Yeah, he was like 30 and 12 and didn't make the All-Star.
Yeah. and he a franchise player. That's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Anthony D was good. Did your Eagles win today?
They aren't my Eagles, but they sure did win.
They sure did win.
Salute to the Nick family. Fritz, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Let's see how much Philly is left in the morning.
Oh, Philly just, it's one of those things where sometimes, in sports and all types of different sports and so forth, it's hard to maintain that kind of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It really is. And right before the game started, I remember saying to some of my friends, because we were, watching and playing poker and so forth, I was like, look, you know, Hurst went near perfect in the first Super Bowl and they couldn't beat him. And so, well, and I'm sure they've probably seen that, like, oh, maybe this is not the way to go. But he was still MVP in this Super Bowl. You know, he still did his thing. You know, but the defense, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
that was amazing. That was amazing.
I've never seen Mahomes look like that, man. I mean, they slapped him around.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I've never seen that dude look like that. That dude has been watching that dude since college. I first saw that dude. I thought he was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. Just pure talent.
You know what? It kind of remind me of. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan, and the Peyton Manning you got in those big games. Oh my! Like
I can't.
You know what I mean?
Oh
my goodness! Peyton Manning's he's the best quarterback ever.
Oh my God! Stop it! Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it!
How we just jumped on that bougie Connecticut shit just like that fast?
Oh.
Stop it!
But his team didn't cooperate. They didn't protect him. They just couldn't protect them in the big games.
Oh, it wasn't just the pass protection. You know better than that. Stop it. You know better than that. That man was serving up that ball. That man did not have. That man was like A-Rod light. Yeah. Just when he saw the Patriots for a good minute, he was like, for a lot better extent, like how Allen is against the Chiefs. Plays just good enough and can't beat them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peyton Manning was like that for a long time. They no way. Look, I grew up watching the great Joe Montana. And I had to remind myself the other day, you cannot put Peyton Manning and Joe Montana in the same conversation.
No.
Okay? I'm gonna help you out. You cannot put that when that man. And I had to remember, because I watched the game last week. I watched most of it when he played against Marino. And going into that Super Bowl, Freezie, you remember, it was all they were talking about was, and rightfully so, Dan had a ridiculous year. We'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And Joe Montana was just like, yeah, okay. Okay.
Joe was nice. Joe was nice.
Joe was for a time. Joe was slick with the commercials too. There was a time when you couldn't even turn your TV on without seeing Joe Montana. Like
he was the golden boy. He was like the gold. Yeah.
I'd have never did that. I'd have never did that one right after the Super Bowl if I was Marino. When Joe kind of suns him in the commercial, it's like, well, I'll see you next year. And Joe was like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, Dan. Why would you be in that commercial, homie?
Then I saw Steve Young, and I'm like, it was different, but he was nice. Yeah. He was small. He was different, but he was nice.
Young is nice. Montana is utterly something else.
Yeah, Montana's the GOAT.
Montana is something else. Just look at him in that Denver game. What, he got 6 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I don't think Denver I can't even remember a play from Denver. I can't even remember them being on the field.
Elway was throwing the football. I saw that game the other day. Elway was throwing the football. Elway was throwing the football 80 miles per hour to dudes 6 yards away.
Yes.
Elway, what are you doing?
No touch.
I remember that game.
He mad because dudes dropping the football. They not dropping them. They just not catching them.
His guys were special because Mark Jackson and Vance and it took them a minute, but this is before Shannon got there. But I remember them doing a special on NBC, and they were like, they had to go through extra with the football machine, and because this dude had a Hollister.
Yeah.
For 5 yards. I'm like, dude, you have no touch.
Bro, you gotta relax, bro.
You gotta relax.
You gotta smoke a cigarette back there or something, bro.
You could really hurt somebody. I don't know if a lot of people ever felt an NFL football. A game-ready NFL football. A game-ready NFL football will break your fingers.
Yeah. I don't know how Fritz got on Peyton Manning, bro. But
I don't know why Fritz did that, man. Fritz, come on.
you wanted to get Josh Hart in the All-Star game that bad?
No. I think be nice to see Josh get in there.
Nice
Be
for
nice.
Who? Nice for who?
Nice for Josh. Nice for Josh to get him in there.
If Josh make the All-Star team, bro, next
You
time
couldn't tell him nothing after that. I don't think you can tell Josh Hart nothing after that.
Yeah, he gonna get $35 million a year after that when his contract up. He extension eligible next summer.
You can't put him in over what's the name from Atlanta. That would be a shit.
Trae Young.
You can't put him in over Trae Young.
Regardless of position, it don't even matter.
Regardless of it, I love Josh. You know, Josh is my guy. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So
that just balling year after year after year, and he's
carrying his own franchise.
He is getting zero respect.
Yeah. So I think down the stretch, I think the Knicks are gonna be better than what we think. In 30 games, I could see them going like 23-7 or something crazy like that.
You think they're gonna move up in the standings?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, I think we're gonna get a weird first round matchup like
Orlando.
No, Detroit.
Ooh.
I think we're gonna get Detroit in the first round and escape with our lives, right? And then in the second round, we're gonna get Boston, and we'll see what things go from there.
Let's see if Tibs survives.
Because right now we're doomed to play Boston in the second round.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think that's a bad thing.
As Boston or is Cleveland?
Either one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Because I don't see a team behind us catching us, Boston or Cleveland. I think the top three is set. Now, who the fourth team is?
Probably Milwaukee.
Indiana's probably Milwaukee, whoever.
It's Indiana, Milwaukee, because what? Miami's already punted. Philly, you know, can Philly do anything right? No, They've got to be the dumbest organization with a superstar of that magnitude I think I've ever seen, yo.
When have they ever gotten it right with a superstar like that?
I don't know. I don't know why they gave him the extension.
Well, I'm gonna give him the extension, but because I have to. But in the next turn, I'm gonna just let you just act like a wayward child after I've given you $200 million.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
I couldn't give him that extension. I couldn't. I think where they were last year is where Phoenix was with Amari. Where you just Phoenix said, "You're still good, but we can't do it." I think that's where they should have been. You're still good, but we can't do it.
Yeah, but he was too young. Still, last year he's what? Going in to be 29.
Calculators unite.
They've given him so much time and attention. You just can't walk away from him like that.
But Phoenix did. But
he was a free agent. You see, Amari was a free agent, and in truth, Phoenix's medical people says, well, you're not worth a 5-year deal. You're worth like a 3-year deal, and you probably won't last the 3.
They want to pay him they wanted to pay him, but just not for 3 years. They're like, hey, bro, we'll make you the richest power forward in the league for these next 2 years.
And his agent is like, don't fret, my pet. There is a desperate organization way yonder east that will give you what you like. Ain't that so? IBM Dre, Godson of Worldwide West.
Salute AD, salute Fritz, salute to the chat. The thing about the whole Embiid thing, they gave
Aaron
him the
Rodgers not coming back.
extension.
No, he's not.
They gave him the extension when he was already 30.
Which also they shouldn't have done. I wouldn't.
And he was already signed through age 32.
Yeah.
So they gave him an extra 3 years just because. Then they turned around and gave PG $200 million at age 34 or 35.
I want you to get it right. That's playoff P.
Oh my God.
And it don't stand for prolific.
Oh
No.
my God.
It might be potty trained.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast P.
Yeah, man.
absolute lunacy that I'm witnessing them do over there.
And we're gonna do the same thing to Bridges, bro. This summer we're gonna give Bridges.
No. Yeah, we gonna get.
He
Yeah,
ain't
we
getting
gonna.
no podcast P money.
He's not gonna get. Well, you know what? You just gave. He gonna look at you and say, "I've been here almost as long as OG, 6 months. You done gave that man $212 million. I haven't missed a game in my life."
Yeah.
I don't think at what 16, 17 points a game, I don't think the Knicks are gonna play that game.
Or
I say, hey, I'll send you Charlotte.
and you know what Charlotte's gonna do? They're gonna give you all them draft picks back because they know Mikal Bridges is worth it, right? Because the thing is like from a basketball perspective, we take Mikal Bridges for granted so much.
Absolutely.
Like we don't even like his greatness flies. It's the same thing with OG. Like their greatness flies under the radar so much. Like we expect them to do everything that they're doing defensively and score 20 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Man, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart defensively, man, come on.
Boo.
Come on. If Jalen Brunson had to play average NBA defense, he'd be a 14-point per game scorer.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Freezie. As of the last game, Jalen Brunson played better defense than Josh Hart did.
Than Josh Hart, yeah. And you saw last night Jason Tatum at 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", whatever he is, was taking Jalen Brunson off the dribble. Right now, mind you, these things can happen. I saw Alex English take Isaiah Thomas off the dribble. Right.
Yeah.
I seen Kevin Durant take anybody off the dribble. Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, when you're a backcourt player, there's certain things you just can't allow.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I know what I'm talking about.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, dog.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we're not going to argue it, but you're
I'm
going to argue it by yourself because you're wearing a Mets hat, so it's raining down in your cranium. This ridiculousness that you want to.
A backcourt player doesn't have to play defense.
No.
Do you know what the name of the position is?
No.
The name of the position is guard.
It only has names for the novices.
The title.
It only has names. It only has names for the novices.
No.
You know what? Go get Alfred Payton back out here. Go get Alfred Payton back out here. That's all world defense. That's been all world defense his whole life. Go get Alfred Payton back out here. Yeah, he's a guard. He's a guard. Alfred Payton is a guard. Go get Alfred Payton back out. His defense was stellar. Stellar. Stellar defense.
See how you just went off on Zombie Island. You just went off on Zombie Island.
No, because one person is a star. You don't treat stars like everybody else. You don't. You
don't treat stars like everybody else. That's not what we're talking about. What we were talking about is
that's what you should be talking about.
No, that's not what we should be talking about.
What you should be talking about.
That'll be what we're talking about.
You always ready to find anything you can about a 6 foot man. About a 6 foot man that done took $135 pay cut. I'll take $135 pay cut.
No,
you should be
no.
lighting rosaries to that. You should be
No,
wearing a rosary with that man's name on it right now.
And for that reason, the Knicks don't win championships right there because of what AD said.
No, they don't win championships because they sign guys like Alfred Payton.
No, because they signed
Wayne, whatever his name was.
Scoring machines that don't defend is what they sign. Because that's all they can get.
You wish you could have got that scoring machine that just went to LA. Huh? You would have sold everything you could and mortgaged the future to have that 25-year-old that can average 30, 10, and 10. What nonsense are you talking about?
Right.
He can't play a lick of defense. He just got his team to the finals last year.
Right.
That's all.
So Jalen Brunson is a bad defender on this team, the way this team is constructed, right? You add Luka to the way that this team is constructed, then we having a different conversation, right? But you can't have multiple bad defenders on the floor at the same time and then point to the guys that do play defense and say they need to give you more. Because it's the forked tongue. It's a snake argument, right? Because if you're saying that the offensive guy is okay not playing defense and then say the defensive guy has to give you more, what you're saying is the snake defense. Like we talking out both sides of our mouth at the same
snake time. Defense? My guy, since he's been here, he's either been 1, 2, 3 as far as taking charges. The last time I looked, taking charge was a defensive posture.
Why is he taking?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because he's beating the offensive man to the position as a defender supposed to do.
You know why he's taking charges, right?
No, because he wants to get the ball back. That's why he's taking charges.
No, he's taking charges because he's a 6'2" guard playing on the baseline.
Oh, now he's 6'2"?
6'2"? Yeah, he's 6'2". He's listed as 6'2". What are we talking about? Is he not listed as 6'2"? Yes, he's listed as 6'2". Jalen Brunson as a guard, and you don't have to find a dictionary to tell you what the word guard means. I would assume that most people know what the word guard means, right? It means to defend something, right? That guard plays baseline in Tom Thibodeau's defense. He doesn't chase people around and all of that stuff, right? Not when the team is healthy, not when OG and Bridges are there. He and Josh Hart both play on the baseline for the Knicks on either flanking cat. Right?
Gosh, that's so untrue.
Right.
But
that's why.
You're entitled to your fork.
No, I'm entitled to facts.
You're entitled to your fork.
I'm entitled to facts.
You know, you're entitled to your fork. I'm entitled to facts. That 6'2" man is taking charges because why? Why again? What was the reason why again? Because what? He wants to put his body. He wants a 6'10" man to knock him to the ground. Yeah. Because he wants to do that because of what? What again?
I'll say this. You don't pay Brunson to play defense. You pay Brunson to be one of the best offensive players in the entire league. And that's what he was in the last game, last I checked. We paid Josh Hart to play some defense. We paid Precious to play some defense. The things that Jason Tatum was doing to Precious last night should be illegal in about 48 states. We paid Precious, and that man spent half the time on the floor on defense. Just falling, tripping over himself, out of position, coming over late to help. Like, I get the point where the idea is that the name of the position is point guard, and you're supposed to guard the point of attack. I get that whole perspective. But when you're as efficient as Brunson is offensively, the other guys that you pay a lot of money are supposed to pick up his slack in that regard. And they didn't do it, in my opinion. Now we can fight about it, but if we're...
we ain't gonna fight. I'm right.
Well, then we can
All right,
disagree.
because bro, these things like I think what
You
we're
was
trying
right
to
as two
dispute,
left shoes.
bro. If you got two sets of shoes, I'm still right. If we have two sets of shoes, I'm still right, bro. The name of the position is guard. That means defend, right? And we are out here as Knicks fans. We are out here as Knicks fans saying that we love defense, and our guy doesn't defend, but he takes a charge. Jalen Brunson had what do he have? 32 charges last year, like 32 charges in what in 79, 80 games. And we talk about that as if this man is getting 2 charges a game, right? Jalen Brunson is getting charges because he's a baseline defender at 6'2". He doesn't guard Maxey. He's not going to guard Damian Lillard. He's not going to guard SGA. Shit, he can't even guard Colin Sexton.
But none of these guards guard him, and they're on successful teams. None of these players that you named guard Jalen Brunson.
Right.
And they're on successful teams. And SGA does not guard Jalen Brunson, and they're the best defensive team in the league.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. Are you suggesting to me that SGA doesn't guard?
No. He guards. He just will not. He will not be on Jalen Brunson at any point in time.
So, but he does guard.
He does guard, but he's usually on the off ball, roaming around trying to get.
But he guards.
Yes.
Does he guard at a high level?
Yes.
So what's your point?
Does Damian Lillard guard at a high level?
No, we talking about SGA.
I mean, you named Maxey and Dame.
Right.
Do either of them guard at a high level?
I specifically asked you just now, does SGA guard?
Yes, but you also mentioned multiple other names. And
then you said SGA does guard at a high level.
Yeah, he's a team defender.
Right.
Why are these things not held up to the same standard for Dame Lillard? Dame Lillard is viewed as a top 75 player all time. I don't necessarily agree that he is, but he's not that because of his defense.
This league is littered over history with guys who couldn't play a lick of defense. Pistol Pete Maravich averaged 44 points in college. Couldn't play a lick of defense. I could go down the line, but yet still, when you want to, there's so many guys who haven't won. It's so many guys who have not won. There's so many guys who have not won. That's an unfair. This league has had 5,000 players. 5,000. Less than 500 have won a championship.
So it's okay if he did. So it's okay if we don't win a championship.
That's another argument. That's another argument. This is not the 90s where the team was predicated on great defense. This is just not that. Guys are coming across half court shooting threes. How the hell are you supposed to rightfully out of your rightful mind stop someone from coming across half court shooting threes?
My thing is about it is we done moved hell high water. We done moved so many assets, so much millions to pay multiple guys to do that. We're paying Tom Thibodeau $10 million a year, and he's known as a defensive guru. I'm sorry, there are great defensive teams with multiple mediocre or bad starters that don't play really, really good defense, but they're flanked with multiple guys that play defense or are supposed to play good defense.
Right.
And to be absolutely honest, since about mid-November, we've been a top 7 defense.
Right.
But we can't cover the elite teams.
And this is where rating. Yep.
But we can't. We struggle with teams like the Celtics, and absolutely there is a minute or amount of teams that we struggle with there, and there are probably three teams total offensively, and they pose issues that we pay Tom Thibodeau to figure out. We pay Josh Hart to figure out. We pay Mikal Bridges to figure out. We pay OG Anunoby a ton of money to figure out. Because to be absolutely honest, if you go around the league, There are no teams with just straight 5 guys that play defense at a high level. It's just outside of maybe the Celtics. And even at that point, they have guys that aren't playing. They aren't completely locked in because they just lost by 25 points to the Mavericks, and they ain't even have Luka. They ain't have AD. It happens. But at that point, like I've seen a team win a championship with two to three mediocre defenders on the court, and they figured it out. And I can give you the Denver Nuggets because we all know Jokic can't play no defense. Is MPJ playing defense, Freezie?
I don't know. This is your statement. I don't give a shit.
I'm asking you.
Now I don't,
MPJ,
and I'm not answering. This is your thing. You say what
okay,
you
well
want to say
then I'll
about that.
continue.
I'm not. I'm not getting in on this.
I'll even throw this in there. Is Jamal Murray a notable defender?
I'm not.
He's not.
Is that rhetorical?
Or it's rhetorical. He's not.
Okay.
But with team defense and having multiple good defenders, you can figure it out. And we paying Tom Thibodeau how much money? And we talking about defense?
Yeah.
We extended that man for $10 million a year.
Yeah. So
Are we still talking about him getting smoked by drop coverage? We talking about who's on the court. The Celtics dropped 27 threes when we had a completely different roster on the court on us 2 years ago. And they have the same game plan, and Tom Thibodeau can't figure it out.
Yeah. The thing is with this conversation that we're having, it's an ongoing conversation and a new conversation at the same time. See, I hit the live button and I listen to people preach to me about defense all the time.
Yep.
All the time. I can't even legit talk about the greatness of Mikal Bridges. I've been wanting to talk about that. I can't even get to that because it's either Mitchell Robinson is Superman and he's gonna save the day, or OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are not doing enough, or Karl Anthony Towns is soft. This is to say, every time I hit the button, I promise chat, I want to talk about something every day. It's like, this might be the day that I could talk about how much OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges do for this team. But I can't get to it because it's either Cat is soft, Mitchell Robinson is a super alien from some other constellation, right? Or OG and Precious get paid too much not to do more than what they're doing, right?
You ain't mentioning Josh Hart. Maybe that's
why when y'all tell me about these things about all this stuff, like Dre can't be listening to the conversation all the time, because if he did, he wouldn't even be comparing other teams in this Knicks conversation, because Knicks fans, they don't care about all that stuff from other places. They want to have a top-notch defense. That's what they care about. That's why they call Cat trash and soft. It's why they say OG Anunoby is missing games. He got to give us more. Why is he always hurt? It's the reason why they say Mikal Bridges is either good on offense and bad on defense, or good on defense and bad on offense.
We want to top something.
Right, but
I mean, if the Knicks were number one in offense and our defense is trash and we was winning, I don't think they were complaining. They wouldn't complain.
No, that's not true.
They were complaining when we had like top 1, 2.
Yeah, not this channel. Not on this channel. Nah, man. Nah, bro. I've been doing this for 4+ years, bro. Every day they talk to me about defense. Right? They killing RJ Barrett about defense. Emmanuel quickly about defense. Right? Every Julius Randle at 260 pounds, not scrambling out to the corner. Josh Hart was there with him. Bro, why is Josh not scrambling out to the corner? Why are you sending Randle? Randle 260.
Well, maybe some of the fans, or a good portion of the fans, just have not come to grips with what the NBA game is today.
That is true, AD. I'm with you. I agree with you.
And and this is we're not having a family fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me a long time to realize how much the three had just infected the league. I was calling it the cluck, chuck, and duck. Because the D'Antoni's, because I had a personal bias against D'Antoni. This is really from D'Antoni. Everybody just took a page out of D'Antoni's and said, you know what? The more the numbers say, the more if we shoot more threes, even if you have a layup under the rim, it's a better option.
The 3-pointer is a better
The 3-pointer
option.
is a better option. You can only defend that. Like, you got to really go out on the NBA court and see how damn wide it is. Yeah. You can only defend that to a certain limit. I watched what's the name the other night? Tatum. Tatum hit some threes that would give you nightmares. The man was hitting 30-foot threes.
Contested too.
How the hell do you stop that?
Step back off the dribble, falling back.
Fade. I thought it was KD for a second. I'm like, what the hell is this? I had to turn the TV off. I'm like, you're not stopping that. Man went to the bench with 7 minutes to go.
You know what's funny about that, AD? When I looked, there's like advanced analytics that said their expected points was less than our expected points. Like, we were supposed to win off expectation of these shots that they were taking, their shot diet. And right. They're so talented that it doesn't matter. And they won by 30 just off of their shot diet, off of making those very tough shots. Bro, like we had a shot diet of layups at the rim that we were missing. And they had a shot diet of tough contested threes and they were making. And for that, we lose by 30.
But this is not new, though.
Oh, it's not new.
Right, because every time we play the Celtics, it don't matter if it's Alfred Payton and Reggie Bullock in the backcourt, or if it's this. They beat us by 30. I don't even think I think the Celtics have so much confidence against the Knicks that it doesn't matter who they are missing and who we have. I'm telling y'all, as a Knicks fan, I think the Celtics are deboing us. I don't think Tibs' game plan yesterday was trash, but you know what, though? At the beginning of that game, the Knicks looked like they didn't come out ready to play. And they had 3 days off.
Well,
the Knicks looked shook from the beginning. They were like, yo, when is this run coming?
Well, Freezie, you saw the first 5-6 minutes of the game. We were getting stonewalled because Tibs thinks it's a good idea to play two guys that can't shoot at the same time. Every time we try to get into an action, we try to get into a pick and roll, we try to get cat in the paint, he's seeing 2-3 guys stunting and jabbing in the lane because they don't respect Precious Achiuwa in the corner.
Or Josh Hart on the wing.
Yeah, and for that is coaching. Picking that lineup and knowing your opponent will, and to be absolutely honest, we know what that opponent will do. If I can see it, Tom Thibodeau knows what they're gonna do.
Dre, listen, if you see it, Tom Thibodeau, and no disrespect to you, but you are nowhere near in Tibbs' class of basketball knowledge.
Hell no, he probably no disrespect.
Times. Me either. I say that because I know I'm not either. Right? So if Tibbs knows this stuff, why does he have Josh Hart and Precious Achiuwa on the same open side? And then you have 4 defenders guarding Bridges, Brunson, and Cat. You got 4-on-3 on one side and Luke Cornett guarding Precious and Josh Hart at the same time.
Because he values rebounding more than he values shooting.
See,
that and he values effort. He values the maximum effort.
I agree with that too. I'm with
those guys, you see, and oh God, it's known how I feel about Cat, okay? But Cat was not good in the middle.
He shouldn't have even played.
He was not good in the middle. He shouldn't have played.
He went from probable to questionable.
When Luke Cornett can look like, and don't get me, once a Knick, always a Knick, and I always liked that kid. I thought he had something because he could shoot. He could flat out shoot. But he's been able to build himself a little bit more than just being able to flat out shoot. But when Luke Cornett is giving you the business and doing all kind of hand gestures, running up the court and all kind of shit, I'm like, what are we doing?
Some of Some of that is development and coaching. Because if you drop Luke Cornett on the Knicks, Tibs would make him play that drop, and he'd probably get cooked every time down.
Every time.
What are we doing?
So that speaks to coaching.
When they ran the high pick and roll, this is Boston above the 3 with Tatum, and they were doing to Cat what teams used to do to Enes Kanter because his footwork is so bad that far away from the basket. Tatum is running by him and dunking the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Cat, all right, you're hurt, 1, and 2, you are not defensive aware because you, sir, cannot run at Jason Tatum. You just cannot do that. That is as dumb a basketball as possible. You're a 7-foot man with not the best mobility, and you're running at one of the top 3 players in the game. How do you stop him?
That's Tibbs' fault. In my mind. I'm gonna get
him in the pick and roll. It's like anytime I saw Enes Kanter out there, it was the same thing with Shaq. Remember with Shaq again? Remember with LA against Utah? One of the reasons why they could not beat Utah because Shaq refused to defend the pick and roll.
Right.
He couldn't.
The pick and roll was invented to get cats like George Mikan to move his feet. That's why they run the pick and roll, right? To get dudes like George Mikan, Wilt Chamberlain to move their feet in space. And so when you talk about Cat, it's no different. Wilt Chamberlain could block every shot from here to Santa Fe, but you get him in the pick and roll, bro, even with him being the most athletic center to have ever played, the pick and roll gets all those dudes, bro. Right? And so the weird thing is, all Tibbs had to do was run a zone look, maybe once or twice in the first half. You didn't even have to play zone for 60 straight seconds, maybe one possession.
I agree.
Every other team, if you look at the landscape of the league, all the coaches that play out there, they all try to implement a zone at some point within.
He doesn't. He's very.
All you have to do is show the look. If you just show the look, that's it. Right?
To give the offensive players something to think about.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
The Spurs got Victor Wembanyama in the paint, and they run zone sometimes.
And they run zone. They run zone with Jeremy Sohan up top. That the long, young energy guy. They run zone and have him up top.
Bro, the Celtics run zone. The Cavs run zone. The Nuggets run zone. Even the Lakers ran zone against us.
And they had,
Spo got all types of complicated zones that we've seen in the playoffs.
No, but what I was gonna say is, if you notice those teams that you mentioned that run zone, they're big.
Yeah,
they're big. One of the advantages is when you run zone is that you have to pass the ball over. If you have the proper guys on the floor, you got to pass the ball over. Your front court guys are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. You can do that with Wembanyama every day. You know why? Wembanyama has an 8'5" wingspan. He could be in the middle of the lane, stepping his foot in and out, and still cover the backside. Because why? Nobody's quick enough and long enough to get it behind him.
But even with that point, AD, remember, if you're just all you're asking guys like Cat to do is occupy a space that is around 10 to 15 feet and be attentive to where the ball is. Cat is not a small man. The problem is you asking Cat to guard out in space instead of telling Cat to guard a specific space.
A specific space, yes.
And at times when Cat has been asked to guard a specific space, especially in isolation, he's come away with blocks. Remember against Westbrook? Westbrook tried to attack him and it didn't work.
Yes.
Like, he's good in guarding spaces and guarding one-on-one. He's not good in having multiple things to check at the same time. Because he's just not that level of mobile. He's not that agile.
He's not.
And we're doing a disservice to him by forcing him to go extra aggressive and pick and roll, or in this drop or he can't affect a floater or a mid-range shot, and he's just in no man's land. And the times that he's played good defense, he's literally been on an island. The times that he's played the best defense, he's been on an island. He can check a guy, but we're afraid of switches because Tibbs
Yeah.
thinks that'll compromise his defense. And if you're afraid of a switch, then why not try zone? But that's just asking too much of him. And I feel like he doesn't want to do zones because it makes you a little bit harder to rebound. It makes it a little bit harder to rebound, and which is like if you ever watch The Pressure with Tom Thibodeau, he values rebounding more than anything else in the world.
Yeah, but Cat said something the other day that was really telling, and I don't think a lot of people really caught it when he said he thought he came here to play the 4.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Said that like a week ago, right, Fritz?
Well,
Yeah, it was a few days ago. Yeah.
his most successful season was at the 4. I don't think we have the players, but
Yeah.
So if he's
we
saying
need the players to
if
insulate him at that point, and
but if
maybe we
he's
think we do.
but if he's saying he thought he came here to 4, that would mean that management had a conversation with him telling him that you were going to play the 4.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that.
And if that's the
But they
case,
didn't do that.
They couldn't have, bro, because the thing is how do you tell Cat he gonna play the 4 and then you don't go out and get a center?
So where did he get that mindset from?
how you tell him that, and we don't play Huck Porty from the jump then?
Right. Well, for one, we don't know that they told him that. Right. He just, that was his assertion that in that moment when he said that. But in my mind, a guy like Karl Anthony Towns that picks up ticky-tack fouls all game, there's no way you can play him away from the rim at all and then expect to get his offense because he's not going to be on the floor. Because the thing is, when we hear people talk about something and don't compare it to what we see, that's when we get in these weird spaces. The thing is, Cat has never been an effective 4, ever. Anthony Edwards' frustration the last year and a half with Cat was over ticky-tack dumb stuff that a 7-foot, 260-pound man can't help himself do out in space. Anthony Edwards used to be like, yo, this Cat just make the dumbest play in such. Bro, he's not a power forward.
Yeah, Freezie, but here's the thing. Then who was the power forward when him and the big boy from Utah, when Gobert was there? And they played together all the time. Who's the power forward when him and Nas Reed is there? Nas Reed is 6'10".
Right. Yeah, Nas Reed is not a rim protector. That's one of the things that when you see something and you hear it, they're two different things.
Yeah, but Cat's not a rim protector. But Cat's not a rim protector neither. So when him and Cat was on the floor, who's the rim protector? Nobody.
Nas Reed is a perimeter-oriented scorer and a non-rim protector. He's just that in a big body.
Yeah, but that's fine. But Freezie, my original point was either Cat is delusional, right? Or you're saying that when the Knicks, because we don't even have to be in the room. You don't trade for a man, get him in your facility, and not sit down and talk to him and tell him, well, this is the plan that we see.
I think they did tell him that. And that's why Cat is the all-star starter at center for the Eastern Conference.
Well, it's not designated center. It's forward. It's like 3 forwards and 2 guards. That's how it goes.
How did he get there, though?
At playing the center. Yeah.
Right. That's the
I guess we're arguing semantics at that point.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Cat is not, bro. You know, in our so it's bizarre to me. Like when I talk to King Green and all them guys, the Sixers fans, and when I talk to Jacob them in Orlando, when I talk to Rel and them, the Dallas fans, everybody in the NBA understands the concept that 3-pointers and wings are the way of the league. But when I talk to Knicks fans, they be like, man, a power forward. And it boggles my mind that the Knicks fan base is the only fan base that can't understand that we are in a playmaker, three-point shooting, wing era in the NBA. Right? No matter what other fan base I talk to, bro, I talked to Gilbert and them in Portland about the Blazers, right? They're like, yo, Kamara is not a four, he's a wing. He's a wing player, right? Shaden Sharp is a wing player, bro. He's a wing, right? But then when I talk to Knicks fans, we like, yo, Cat at center, Cat got to play the four when Mitch get back because Mitch got to play center. And honestly, it can't compute in my mind.
Because you're looking at it, Freezie, as you were explaining a while ago, you were only explaining offensive aspects. We're not talking about that. You were only explaining offense, and I agree with you. It is a wing, kick, drive, kick, shoot, whatever. Great. I'm not even talking about that. It's the other side of the ball. When, like I said, the other night against the Celtics, Cat was bad in the middle. He's your only 7-footer. I don't care if his footwork is bad or whatever. Should I expect a bit better? If he can't play because he's injured, guess what? Sit his ass down.
He was hurt. He shouldn't have played yesterday at all.
Sit him down.
I think what Freezie's getting at is basically the things that Cat does becomes a superpower on offense when he's the center.
Right.
And he becomes merely a very good player at the power forward or at the dual
on the wing.
Yeah.
Right? Because Jason Tatum was their tallest wing player, right? Does that make him a power forward? Because if Jason Tatum is a power forward, how can Cat guard him?
Yeah, I think the whole idea of position is kind of nebulous right now. Like it's either a wings or bigs. And if you're a big, then it's just two bigs. Not really. Right. It's at that point, it's just saying like, yo, we're asking another center that can do some wing stuff. Like his spacing and his passing is something that passes for some things that wings can do. But he's still a big.
Right. He's a big. This is the era that Victor Wembanyama at 7'5" grabbed a rebound and dribbled the ball up the floor the other night. He's a big. He's not a center, right? The center is the center of offense and defense, right? Controlling everything from the back line. That's what a center is, right? Forwards help guards beat traps and brackets and shades and blitzes, right? That's what a forward does. That's why they say he's a forward, because he's up there with the guards. But the power forward stays back there with the center, right? That's the traditional way this thing is. This is the reason why they got their titles, their names, right? This is the reason why they have those certain. But we're not in that era, and we're not in that era anymore. That's why when I talk to the cats from Portland about the way their team set up, they're like, nah, we're going to be good the way that we're doing stuff. We just need time. Portland says they need time. I'm like, yo, y'all need a point guard, right? Nah, we ain't doing that point guard stuff. Nope. We ain't doing no shooting guard stuff. We got playmakers all over the place, and we're gonna run out there one big. We're not playing two bigs together. And I understand where they're coming from, right? They're gonna have playmakers all over the floor. The playmakers might be anywhere from 6'5" to 6'9", whatever. Right? It's the reason why they value Denny Avdija, right? Because he could do a little bit of all that stuff. At his size, he would be. Denny Avdija is 3 inches taller than Dave DeBusschere, right? And about 20 pounds heavier, right? But he's not a traditional power forward. He's a wing player. This era that we exist in right now, and we not even gonna understand how Tibs is not doing things right if we think about things in paint by colors. We're not in a paint by colors era anymore. We're in an era, our center is legit shooting 41% from three on high volume. Well, before he hurt his hand, he was shooting 46% on high volume before he hurt his hand. We're not in an era where the point guard runs the show. We don't. There's no such thing as John Stockton anymore, right? The Detroit Pistons have a point guard that is 6'6" and some change and 235 pounds. That's what the Pistons said the other night. That man is 6'6" and some change and 235 pounds as their primary ball handler, right? And we're talking about Cat playing the 4.
Yeah, because Freezie. Here's the thing, Freezie. You can't hide Cat on defense.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you have a team like what Boston did the other night, when Boston was using Cat's man to pick whoever was off him and to make sure that Cat was on him when they were attacking him like that, and he's running at, like I said, he's running at Tatum, he's at a disadvantage. Why? Because as Dre was saying, the
AD, hold on, AD, hold on. Respectfully. I have to ask you this question because it's not computing in my mind, and maybe I'm slow. Right? But why does Jalen Brunson's defense not matter, and Karl Anthony Towns' defense is ultra important?
Okay, Freezie.
Do they not both share the scoring load?
Okay, Freezie.
Are they both not all-stars?
You're not seeing where you just said 5 minutes ago the center controls the back line on the offense and the defense.
Right.
So the center controls the back line. And if your point guard, whoever your point guard is, your point guard gets picked off and the offensive player is aiming straight down the middle.
AD, you gotta quote me right. You gotta quote me right. What I said is the traditional way of thinking is the center, is the back line of the offense and defense. The traditional way of thinking. I didn't say I agree with that.
Okay, so
I said that's the traditional way of thinking about it.
Whether it's traditional or not, if Jalen
Patrick Ewing was a center, right?
Right, but if Jalen Brunson or whoever is at the point of attack and he is getting picked off by the center's man who's guarding the center, who's guarding Cat, right? And now Tatum or whoever is now barreling down to the middle of the court. Who's supposed to stop him? Cat is right there in front of him. There is nothing else for that first defender to do, because you know why? He was already picked off. He is now trailing. He is now trailing the play.
I'll phrase it this way. There's still multiple ways to skin a cat, and the best team in the league right now, record-wise, has 2 bigs out there with 2 small guards that don't play defense, and they figure it out. We literally went against the Celtics, a team that prefers 5 out, and they went double big against us.
Right.
And they won handily, by the way. Like, if you turn around, if you look what Miami's doing right now, the kid that they drafted, they're starting him next to Bam as 2 bigs. If you look around the league, there's a lot of teams with combinations of 2 7-footers. The Mavericks decided to put 2 centers together intentionally. He just got hurt, but it was looking real dominant in that first half. So there's multiple ways to win with 2 bigs on the court. You just got to make sure you're playing on one accord, you're playing on one string, and you know exactly what you're doing. Your rotations have to be in sync, and you know how to hide who and hide when. But I'm not totally against it. I think the idea is like while Cat's superpower, like his offensive ability gets multiplied when he's at the 5. There's no bones about it. Like, he literally went from a 20-point per game guy last year to pushing 25 this year. But is that difference in 4 points or his impact or warping gravity? Does that matter as much as having, I guess, this idea of having an elite defense? Maybe or maybe not. I think it's just a matter of perspective and preference at that point. And I believe the way you view the game, you think it's pointless. And I can understand why you view it.
You telling me?
Well, or Well, at least that's how I'm interpreting it.
because I'm here, I can speak for myself.
I'm interpreting how I interpret what you're saying,
Okay, okay.
and not to put words in your mouth, but I'm interpreting it that way. That it's like we brought him
No,
here
see,
to be a
that's what
center.
I'm saying. So what I'm, yeah, that's what I mean. Like the thing is how to. I don't care how we win, as long as we win a championship,
Yeah,
right? What I'm saying specifically though
yeah,
is Cat at the perceived power forward position that really doesn't exist anymore, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't care if we win 200 to 199 if we win a championship. What I'm saying is if we're specifically talking about OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges having to give us more, because that was the initial thing that we were talking about,
yeah,
right? The thing I came on tonight just to talk about the greatness of what Mikal Bridges gives us is very understated, right? That's what I wanted to talk about. What the next 30 games are going to look like, and Mikal Bridges' role in it. That's what I want to talk about, right? But the thing, what we wind up doing is like we normally do, is bashing Cat, right? Regardless what I wanted to talk, regardless what we want to talk about, like a new topic. We can't ever talk about new topics because we have to say Deuce is a super alien and he's going to come back and save the day. We have to talk about Karl Anthony Towns being soft, even though he's a starter in the All-Star game, right? We gotta always talk about Tom Thibodeau's rotations and strategy, right? This has been the same thing since day one I started the channel. We always have a scapegoat, we always have a superhero alien, and we always bash Tibs. It's the same three things every night. Like we legit can't speak about certain things like Mikal Bridges offering elite level defensive attempts every night. Some nights he's gonna get roasted. That's what defenders do.
yeah,
They're gonna look great some nights and they're gonna get roasted other nights against elite offensive talent.
Yep.
It's just gonna happen. It's a part of the job. It's like being a shutdown corner, right? You're gonna shut down everybody in the league until you cover Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, right? Chad Johnson. You're gonna give up stuff to them.
or sometimes it might be weird where you're on Revis Island, but Stevie Johnson can cook you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Right.
Oh boy.
Right,
Right.
And so that's it. What I'm ultimately what I'm saying is, yo, we gotta cut Mikal Bridges some slack, bro. Right, we gotta cut Mikal Bridges some slack because not only is his defensive assignment tough every night, it's diversified every night. Like when OG ain't there, when OG's not there, Mikal Bridges is gonna have to guard somebody that outweighs him by 20, 25 pounds. It's just what it is. It's part of the job. He knew it. He accepted the assignment. So I'm not feeling sorry for him. What I'm saying is that's his task. Last night, if OG was healthy, you would have saw Mikal Bridges on Jaylen Brown, right? You just saw that. That's the more natural matchup, right? Two similar sized guys going to, even though Brown has more girth than Bridges, but that probably would have been his assignment.
Yeah.
Right. And so he guards Jason Tatum, who's probably a Hall of Famer.
No
a Hall of Famer went off for 40 points in a nationally televised game. Ooh, that's something new. No, it's not. That's been happening. Right? Jason Tatum scoring a bunch of points on a good defender. That's not new. Right? The thing is, the reason why it looked different last night is because he had to do that, and we needed scoring from somebody else, and he couldn't guard Tatum and give us the scoring. But most nights, that man is going to give you great defense and about 17 points a game. On most nights. Last night, he started out the night cold in a night where we couldn't afford for him to start off the night cold, right? He started off the night cold. Josh Hart started off the night cold. Karl Anthony Towns was out there hurt, and Precious Achiuwa was doing Precious Achiuwa stuff, right? And so it's easy to say Mikal Bridges should have gave us more, right? Because we look at what we paid for him, right? But AD, you know what I do when it's time for me to move furniture? I don't put furniture in my car. I go crank up the truck. That's what the truck is built for.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Right?
yeah, Freezie, I think.
Dre, you ain't never Dre, have you ever been on the street, maybe driving, and you see somebody got a washer and dryer roped to the top of their car, trying to take it home?
Usually a station wagon doing
Or
something like that.
And you're like, yo, why didn't y'all just rent a truck? Y'all could
Why
have
you
just rented
working
a truck.
harder, not smarter?
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that I'm getting at. Mikal Bridges is the fact that what we require him to do here in New York, and he's still healthy, is a miracle in its own right. Right? Tibs is like, hey man, go run through those screens head first and stay with that man regardless where he goes, and have a hand in his face. And then on the other end of the floor, we want you to be an outlet for Brunson and Cat in case they kick it out, for you to knock down these threes. And at times, when either Cat or Brunson are on the bench, we need for you to be the second scorer on this team.
Just he has to be super efficient at all the time. And I feel like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Freezie. I think we got bad shooting luck as well, because I decided to do a little like diving deep into the numbers to see if it makes sense. And like, teams take the least amount of threes, like a rate per possession against us in the entire league, but teams also shoot the highest percentage against us.
Okay.
From three. So that tells me that we're limiting 3-point attempts to begin with.
Right.
That tells me that we're actually contesting relatively decently, and we just had bad shooting luck. Whereas in the COVID year, for example, we actually gave up way more threes than the average team did, and teams shot like worse.
Poorly. Yep.
Yeah. And some of that is just maybe we're snake bitten this year, because a lot of it isn't just bad defense. It's just teams are just on fire against us.
And some of the things are not quantifiable.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you watch the game, when you watch the games, you notice that some of these guys, some of the teams that knock down a lot of threes against us, they get on these heaters, and a shooter from their team gets so raging hot that is crazy. You remember the OKC game where the dude came off the bench?
Yeah.
And he averaged like 4 points a game for the season.
Aaron Wiggins?
Yeah. A 9 points is whatever he's averaging for the year. And then all of a sudden he's Larry Bird.
Yeah.
And you remember the Detroit game? Remember Malik?
Yep. Oh, Zachary Ricochet?
Remember Zachary Ricochet against Atlanta?
Yep.
Yep. But you can quantify it, Freezie. You know why you can? Because the other team gets paid too.
Yep. No. I mean, AD. No, I'm not talking about quantify. I agree with you on that. What I'm saying is you can't quantify it on paper. Like the paper doesn't do it justice, right? It shows the shot and the effect. But if you watch the game, you can feel that player getting momentum. You remember back in May, Buddy Hield had been benched like 4 games straight.
Yep.
And he hit that corner 3 falling out of bounds in the corner.
Yep.
And after that, bro, you couldn't give him an ounce of room. But on paper, it looks like shot attempt versus defender. Yeah. And equals a result.
Yep.
And it doesn't take into account of who's doing the shooting.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so to Dre's point, I understand where Dre's coming from, right? But what I'm thinking though, Dre, is we, for some reason, we allow a shooter to get in a zone, a confidence place, and once they get there, it's hard as hell to get them out of it.
Yeah.
Because the defense sometimes is more focused on the star. You see, if the defense is more focused on the star, which is what what I've seen what happens a lot. The star are making the passes. They're making the passes. And these they've been hitting their shot.
They've been hitting their shots, and to be absolutely honest, every it almost like I don't want to keep digging at Josh, but like half the time those guys that get hot, it's usually Josh's assignment. If we keeping it a buck, it's usually the guy that's Josh responsible to be checking, and sometimes he falls asleep, weak side, or he's like chasing for rebounds, and then this guy gets confidence, and then you try to cut his water off, and it's too late at that point.
It was
Now,
2 years ago. It happened in Miami with the dude Caleb Martin. Remember Josh?
Yes.
Josh saw the dude Caleb Martin and wouldn't even go out there. He saw him, and then Josh backed up to get the rebound, and the dude hit that 1-3 at the top of the key. Remember Obi Toppin got fouled, and Obi
And
went to the
missed
free
one?
throw line and
He
was
missed
looking
one?
like a baby deer in headlights.
yeah, we missed one. Yep.
Yeah, made one, missed one, and they had a 1-point lead because they had a 2-point lead. If Obi would have made both free, it would have been tied. Obi made one, and then Josh looked at Caleb Martin at the top of the key and faked, and then went to get the rebound, but Caleb Martin knocked down the 3, and they were up by 4, and we couldn't get over the hump. Like we fight and scratch and claw our way to a 1-possession game, and then one mental error.
It happens.
It's like Jenga, just like one thing, and it folds.
It happens. Do you
Yeah.
remember that game against Indiana in the Garden in the playoffs? It's the year where Andrew Yang broke Ewing's wrist, right? Ewing comes back, gives a valiant effort. The Knicks are down, 3-2, but we're winning in the last moments of the game against Indiana. Chris Childs is the best on-ball defender I've ever seen the Knicks have, right? But Reggie takes that one shot, the ball clangs, and Chris Childs leaves his area to go chasing the ball. And somebody tapped the ball back to Reggie, and Reggie lines up and sends me to my bed. Game was over. The game was over.
Yeah.
My cousin to this day still remembers that play. If Chris Childs would have just stayed right there, I'm like, it's a bang bang play.
It's just their reaction. Is just
He
natural
sees
reaction.
the ball. He goes to the ball. He's not staying with Reggie. He sees the ball. So he naturally goes to the ball, but somebody beats him to it and hits Reggie, and
Reggie Miller is an all-time great too, by the way. Something we need to take into account.
And that's what an all-time great will do to you.
Right. You can't give an all-time great multiple bites.
A second opportunity. Hell no.
Right.
It's one of those things where I think the tertiary guys always get hot against this, because I can look at it like a box score and see like dudes will have 1-2 points for like 5 straight games. They come see the Knicks, they have 15. Like for example, Aaron Holiday.
Yeah.
The other night against Houston.
Yeah.
He didn't score a point for 5 games coming into that night. 15.
Yeah.
And then he goes right back to not scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're too focused on Green and that's gonna happen. When you're too
Sengun
focused.
play that night? Sengun ain't play that night.
No, he didn't play. He didn't play that night.
No, man. But it's one of those things where I think we get too hyper focused on trying to stop the star,
Yeah.
and then their role players. It just takes one of them to get hot, and then you try to cut his water off, and then it becomes someone else.
I have another one for you. We were playing the Brooklyn Nets, and Dorian Finney-Smith got hot from 3.
Oh yeah,
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
early in the season.
Yes, Lord.
And so that's what I'm. So these are the type things, man, that I'm talking about. Like when we watch the game and we recap certain stuff. That's why when people come to me, like I've been getting text messages, they're like, "Yo, why you mad at the Knicks, man? They played their best. The Boston beat everybody by 30. Why you mad at such and such? Jalen Brunson scored 30. I'm like, man, I'm not mad at Brunson. I'm not mad at Precious, right? I'm not mad at Josh Hart. I understand the Celtics are good. I'm not ready to admit to myself, not y'all, right? Not y'all, not the chat, right? Not the chat, right? Y'all believe what y'all want to believe, but I'm not ready to believe myself that Boston is going to be better than us for the next 5 years, and there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not ready to admit that to myself.
I've never thought like that.
They have to prove it to me that they are better than us for the next 5 years, and they're in our division, and they're younger than us.
They haven't seen the best of us.
And so, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, the conversation that we have, it's always like I think what people forget is that when I hit the button and come here, the most consistent thing about the conversations we have is I'm always here and I'm always exposed to everybody's opinion. So I get to see, I get the sense of the crowd and know what they want, right? And so when they constantly tell me, bombard me with, yo, we got to improve the defense. We got to improve the defense. We got to improve the defense. And then I say, well, what about Jalen Brunson's defense? The first thing they say is, well, he do all the scoring.
I think that, and Jalen Brunson's defense needs to be better. Sometimes he needs to not be trying to draw a charge half the time and just play straight up as best as you can and make them shoot over the top. And I think, to that point, I think that's probably the best job he's done of that in the last game, but no one else held up their end of the bargain.
I don't want that man taking charges. I don't want him to be a baseline defender, right? Because the thing is, when you have your best and most efficient scorer constantly putting his body in harm's way, one of these days he's not going to get up off the floor, right? And the day that he doesn't get up off the floor, that automatically destroys your pecking order of scoring, right? And so what does that mean in the grand scheme of things, right? Can Jalen Brunson defend out on the perimeter? I think they're doing the very best that they can do with Jalen Brunson's defense. He has to be a weak side baseline defender. And Josh Hart has to be the strong side baseline defender. All right, because Josh Hart can battle with guys bigger than him and not get injured. And we can afford to lose Josh. We don't want to lose Josh, but in the grand scheme of things, if we lose Josh, I think we can survive. Maybe make a deep run. If we lose Jalen Brunson, it's over. Right. And this is the other thing that I want to remind everybody. Josh Hart is only 2 inches taller than Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I remind everybody every show about this, and they think I'm picking on Josh. It's not that I'm picking on Josh, right? Josh is a little guy. AD, believe it, man, I'm taller than Josh Hart, bro. Like, legitimately, I am taller than Josh Hart. Maybe by 1.5 inches.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight and the dog.
Right. I understand that when it's Charles Barkley.
And there's a lot of guys that Josh Hart punks night in, night out because they don't have the scrap. You have to have, in the NBA, in order for you to survive in the NBA, it's not just talent. It's really not just talent. It's guys who want to get it. Guys who not afraid. I look at Hart sometimes, his arms, the same way I used to look at what's our center that we had? Hartenstein. And Hartenstein and Hart would have some of the longest lacerations on their arms.
Right.
From their arms down to their fingers. And the only reason why you get stuff like that is because you in the muck.
Yep.
If you're not in the muck, you don't got battle scars like that.
But AD, that's the thing that I'm talking. That's the thing that I'm saying to Knicks fans on a constant basis. You're talking about Josh Hart being in the wash, right? Josh Hart is in the wash. That's why he get a lot of rebounds. right? That's why I'm saying Josh Hart is a baseline defender. He's in the wash. That mix of bodies you see running around the rim and the bunch of you dude disappeared, then he reappeared. That's the wash, right? It's like when you watch a O line block a D line, like 5-on-4. That's the wash. Josh Hart is down there in that at 6'4".
Yeah, but I think things look, and I'm not saying that this guy is going to be the saving grace, right? But obviously they must thought something of him because they did not improve the position. They did not improve the backup center. So let's just say we get 60% of Mitch the rest of the way. 60% of Mitch makes things look a lot different. 60% of him makes things look a lot different because immediately he's your second best rebounder. It's better rebounder than Josh Hart. 7'1". Can cover side to side. So some of those peak-in moments are when you're off balance because you're peeking in on the left side of the court and the 3-and-D guy sneaks in behind you. The same play that Ike BMJ keeps pointing out that Josh Hart gets beat on or whatever. All of a sudden, you don't got to peek in that much anymore because there's another guy on the other side of the court that can hold shit down.
And get some boards.
Defensively.
And you're not off balance anymore. So you're not leaving your perimeter the way you would have because you're taking more chances because you need to help out on the boards. That's where the off balance comes from a lot of the times with Hart. And it's a negative to his game. It's kind of like with Westbrook. You go so hard that you're not seeing, the entire play, but you have to go hard because the rebounding is a necessity that the team needs.
All these dudes, as long as I've been watching Knicks basketball, I have never seen a Knicks player not play hard. Right? I have never seen in person. Bro, all of these NBA players give it 1,000% while they out there, bro.
You saw Eddie Curry play live?
Yeah.
You saw Cam Reddish play live?
You thought they played hard?
Yeah. I saw no. I never seen Cam Reddish in a game play live as a Knick. Right? I never seen Cam Reddish play. I never seen, but I do remember that Dallas game.
Right? You saw Eddie Curry play live, and you thought Eddie Curry played hard.
Yes, I think he played. I
think he had asthma.
I saw Eddie the two. I think I may have seen him twice. The 2 times I saw Eddie Curry play, I think he was giving everything he had, bro. Right, and but here's the thing: of all the hundreds of Knicks players that you ever saw, if we just point out 2, what does that mean? That means everybody else is playing hard, right?
You saw Jerome James play live?
So okay, so say name 10 players. Name 10 of all the hundreds of Knicks players that you've seen. You've never seen. You've never. Those other dudes.
I'd say the overwhelming majority play really hard because
they
need that check, bro.
Bro, I got me and Jay Boogie. This is disgusting, right? I gotta tell a story, but this is disgusting. Me and Jay Boogie were standing at the players' entrance, Worldwide West. I think said something to Jay Boogie. We was just standing there. This is Charlotte, North Carolina, about 2 years ago. Matter of fact, Steph was there, right? And we was standing there, right? Isaiah Hartenstein walk over to Jay Boogie, right? He like Jay Boogie, like, hey nephew, he come over. Dre, that man, Jay Boogie asking for the jersey, right? Like, hey man, give me a jersey. I looked at that jersey. I was like, what the hell we gonna do with that? Yo, you got a trash bag to put that in? You put that straight in this bag, and then we'll take it and get it dry cleaned and get it hung up, right? But I'm not touching it, right? But that man took that arm sleeve up. AD, that man took. Now, mind you, I'm a very tall human being. It's like for an average guy, right? Isaiah Hartenstein has me by about 6 inches, bro. Legit, like he 6 inches taller than me, right? And I'm talking about legitimately, like, nah, this ain't no game. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I'm just adding, mustard to the story. Nah, that man 6 inches taller than me, right? That man took off that arm sleeve. Remember how you was talking about the scratches, bro?
Right.
That man took off that arm sleeve, and this is after they done played, dapped everybody up, talked or whatever, did their interviews, all the stuff. They headed in the back, get ready to pack up their stuff and leave, right? That man took off that arm sleeve, to give the J Boogie, Dre, AD. That thing was still dripping sweat in it. That thing was
I can believe it.
Dripping sweat in that armband, right? That on, the white sleeve that you remember the white sleeve he put on, the whole sleeve, whatever on his arm. That man took it off. Me and J Boogie was right there. I saw J Boogie get it from him. Right, J Boogie was like, "Yo, let me get that jersey." He was like, "Man," and Isaiah Hartenstein was like, "Hey, man, these things cost $400. I don't get paid that much." Right? And when he said that, I was like, "Nah, J Boogie, man, that dude, that man broke, bro. That man ain't making no money." You know what I'm saying? That man barely hanging on
hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, he need money. He can't just give out $400 jerseys every game. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody. But I'm not everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, hey, I get it. I'm like, hey, man, I started to cash app him $400, bro, on the spot. He an NBA player. I started AD.
Oh, they want those things. You remember when cats used to win, when you used to win championships, they would attack the players.
Yeah,
grab the gloves,
something.
You ever seen Reggie Jackson after he hit that last home run? When he ripped the button off his shirt. Jesus Christ, the man goes into fullback mode.
Right.
He's knocking people down.
But the point I was making, bro, is Dre, when we see these guys after the game, bro, like when you see them, like I'm talking about after they get the buzzer sound, they dapping everybody up. They do their interview, everybody on the court. They finally start going in. Because court, it'd be celebrities courtside or whatever. Man, they talk, whatever. The front office might be Allen Houston might be there. They might be talking about going over something, the game, whatever. They might all be walking in the back. Dre, they still be pouring sweat. They still have the towel on. The towels that they have still be dripping wet, bro. Like legitimately, these dudes play hard. That's why I don't ever question how hard an NBA player, bro. Like I'll critique Cat's defense, and I'll critique Brunson's defense, and I'll critique Josh Hart's defense, whatever. I'll critique OG Anunoby, but I'll never say that they don't play hard, bro. Ever. I'll never say, bro. I saw RJ Barrett come off the floor. I saw him, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle in Atlanta walk to the end of the bench, bro. And RJ Barrett was just washed with sweat, bro. These dudes play hard. So
they're competitors, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, so when we say, Cat need to grab more rebounds or whatever, I'm not saying that Cat don't put forth 1,000% of effort. Maybe his positioning got to be better. We got to talk technical stuff. Like, because you can't ever question somebody. AD, you remember when we first met and I told you that I don't disrespect professional boxers because what's the name beat me up, that Terrell Biggs beat me up that time. Remember I told you that when me and AD first met? I was like, AD, man, I met Terrell Biggs. I talked trash to him and he beat me up. Right. And so I was like, yeah, these professional. Dre, this dude named Chris Morris, right? Used to play for the New Jersey Nets, right? We was at a celebrity game, and at the time I was like a somebody. This is like 1989. I was somebody, right? Because I had a little reputation around posts or whatever. And Chris Morris tried to dunk in the game, right? And I fouled him on a breakaway dunk, and the crowd started booing. AD, you remember the red and white popcorn boxes? Remember you could go to somewhere and they put your popcorn in them red and white striped boxes or whatever. You remember that? Mm-hmm. They was throwing them things on the plate. Get out of it! Ain't nobody came to see you, bro.
Nobody came to see you, Green Street champ. Right. Go pick some vegetables.
Right, that's what I'm saying. These dudes, bro, take their career and all that stuff so serious, bro. Like they legit take. That's why when we talking about like, hey man, Cat only grabbed 9 rebounds, bro. I watched geez, what was it? I think me and Greeny were in me and Greeny were in Orlando. That's where I met Greeny at in Orlando. Bro, there was a dude, their center ended the game with like 5 rebounds, right? And people was like, yo, that man such and such played 40 minutes and grabbed 5 rebounds. Bro, Dre, if you saw how hard that man was working and the ball would bounce like the other way or whatever,
Yeah.
like they'll shoot it and it'll hit the back of the rim and go back the other way. And he had it. And people are like, man, he's sorry, man. We paying him $7 million and he only grabbed 5 rebounds.
Sometimes it just don't bounce your way.
Bro, we were right there. We were looking, bro. We were looking at it, bro. That man, y'all act like that man didn't give 1,000%.
Yeah,
these dudes play hard, bro.
Yeah, but the coach, here's the thing. The coach can only compare what he's looking at on the court, and when he stops and after the game and he's looking at the numbers and he's comparing it to me, he's like, yo, this can't work.
Right.
What's my guy over there, the big with Milwaukee? Lopez,
yeah.
When Lopez was here and Avery Johnson was his coach in Brooklyn, Avery Johnson won Coach of the Year. And in less than 30 games the following year, he got fired.
Yep.
One of the reasons he got fired,
he never made it back to the NBA, bro.
Lopez and that man coached the team that man coached Dallas to a finals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That man told Lopez, you gotta get your big butt under the board. Lopez was doing things like getting 2 and 3 rebounds a game.
You remember that? Yep.
If you're the coach and you played this game on the highest level, and you're seeing this dude who was drafted in the top 10, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Out of Stanford.
Right?
7 foot, about 260.
Yeah.
Built like a crane, especially young Lopez. Kind of stiff, but very athletic. Man's getting 2-3 rebounds a game.
He was a straight line athlete.
And he was playing 35, 38 minutes a game.
And imagine the coach's background. Who did the coach play with in the NBA? Who does that coach have experience with?
Tim Duncan, David Robinson,
Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep.
Right. I think he coached Dirk, right? Did he coach Dirk?
Dirk.
Yeah, he coached Dirk.
I don't know
right?
if he played with him, but he coached Dirk.
Yeah. So he coached. So he had experiences with all those dudes, and then Brook Lopez out here getting 3 rebounds. You like
you're gonna drive any coach mad because sometimes it's basic math. I'm not putting my 7'4" guy in there and playing 30 minutes and you walking away with less than 5 rebounds. That doesn't compute to me.
right.
Why? You're 7 feet tall.
Right.
You're the biggest guy on the court.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're the franchise. And we're supposed to be building around you. That's why they had to get him up out of there. As chaotic as the Nets were then and now, but they wasn't going anywhere with Brook Lopez.
Nah. And so on the Knicks thing, in terms of what the Knicks do, bro, when you watch Josh Hart play, I ain't gonna front. I was not a fan of the Josh Hart trade, right? I wasn't a fan of giving up a first round pick for Josh Hart at the time, right? Because Josh Hart looked to me like the guy that everything had to be ideal for him to get the most out of what he normally does, right? Like legitimately, I felt like at the time we traded for Josh Hart, I was thinking they got to be doing Jalen Brunson a favor because this dude here in New Orleans was a face in the mall, right? That dude with the Lakers, remember that young core of talent, Larry Nance, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, all of those dudes, from Julius Randle all the way through to that last pick that they made, Kyle Kuzma. Like all those young dudes, right? I know Randall was gone, right? But what I'm saying is they had been putting together a young core. And when I saw Josh Hart, I was like, is he going to be able to play power forward or big forward in the NBA?
He tries though.
Yeah, I didn't think he could do that when he was with the Lakers because of the way the Lakers team was built, right? Because the Lakers had a bunch of why would you have Josh be the big forward when you have Kyle Kuzma, Larry Nance, and all them guys, right? This was my
Randall
thing.
was still there.
Right. Randall, yeah.
Brandon Ingram was still there.
Ivan Zubac, the Clipper center, he was still there.
Ibaka Zubac.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if that's a. And then when he went to New Orleans, I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be. I was thinking at the time when Josh got traded, I was like, yeah, if he improve his handle, then maybe he can turn into a swing wing, like some backcourt stuff, some front court stuff. And over the years, out of sight, right? Out of sight, where he was in New Orleans and in Portland, he did improve those things. By the time he got to the Knicks, he was ready. Because he can handle the ball in the open court. He's good at that, right? He's good at acceleration. He's good at finishing around. AD, what if Precious Achiuwa finished at the rim like Josh Hart?
He wouldn't be a Knick.
Right.
His contract would be too high.
It wouldn't be a Knick, but those pieces. Josh Hart trade will go down as one of the greatest trades in Knicks history.
Yeah.
We won that trade for certain.
For certain. It's like I asked anybody. I asked somebody the other day, is Cam Reddish even in the league? Is he still on the Lakers?
He got sent to the Hornets and then they got rescinded, so now he's back a Laker.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers were very lucky to get that trade rescinded. I don't know why. I don't know why they wanted to give up on Connect, yo. I have no idea.
Mark Williams.
I would give up. I would. The idea, like if Mark Williams was healthy, I would give up Connect for that.
I would give up Connect
you gotta
and
take into
Austin
account.
Reeves, bro.
Connect
I would give up Connect and Austin Reeves.
I'm not doing that.
Connect is a 24-year-old shooter that doesn't play no defense, and you already got like a bunch of guys that you got to cater to.
Yeah, but he's a first-year guy, right? And I looked at some of his plays the other day, like after they rescinded the trade. And first-year guys are not that polished offensively.
Because he's 24.
I don't give a damn if he was 28. That's a weapon.
You got to be polished. It's like Jaime Jaquez. If you drafted a guy that's 24 years old coming out of college, you better be polished.
Yeah, and the thing about those
better not be looking
I'm
like
not saying Dalton Connect. We saw Dalton Connect. I think it was, I don't know if it was me and Ted or me and another dude, but we saw Dalton Connect before y'all even knew who he was. I think we did the show one night, and then I think I did the show with y'all, and I was on the way to Columbia, man. I was so sleepy, bro. Bro, we saw Dalton Connect. Some of these guys, bro, we see them down here. Like they come play at they play in Columbia. Like if they go to Tennessee or Kentucky,
SEC school.
Yeah. So we'll go see him, bro. That dude looked like he came from out of nowhere. We was like, who is this guy? Why can't y'all guard him? Legit, when we saw him play, Dre, we had no. You remember, Dre, you remember last summer I was telling you about, like, we were going on the Gigi Jackson tour. Like every time Gigi Jackson had a good matchup, we go. Right? Remember I told you about him versus Brandon Ingram in Columbia? Yeah. And his pops was cussing out the coach. Maybe not. Okay. All right. Whatever.
You told me about that.
Oh, okay. All right. So Dalton Connect was the guy, like when you saw him, we like, okay, he a system player. Like we know, like, how you hear some little bubbling. Oh, that guy had a good game the other day. But he didn't burst on the scene like Emmanuel quickly. right? But like when we saw Manu quickly, we're like Kentucky got a whole bunch of dudes over there in street clothes. Like I think quickly redshirted or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden, quickly is like better than everybody in the SEC, just randomly. That's why when we got quickly, I was like, "Yo, we got a player." Right? That's why I had more hope in Emmanuel quickly than other Knicks fans, right? Because I had saw him play, and I was like, you know what? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Jared Vanderbilt. Like I have more hope in Jared Vanderbilt than most others because I saw him play up close and personal. And in the SEC, he looked like a superior athlete, right? It's the reason why when people talk to me about Jacob Toppin, I be like, he ain't nobody, bro. He fixing them all, bro. But he the dude walk past you at work. You probably ain't need a dude been working with you for 8 months. You still don't know his name. To me, that's Jacob Toppin, right?
I don't want to see any more of those superior athletes that are only superior in their high school gym when they go back to practice. I'm done with those superior athletes.
You need NBA superiority.
I'm done with the Sims. Those super freak athletes that go to the combine and they test off the charts that can't play. I'm done with those guys. I don't want to.
No, you talking about the weight room warriors.
Yeah, I'm done with those.
I agree with you. I agree with you, right? But the guys I'm talking about is like when Kentucky is losing to the University of South Carolina and in South Carolina on your birthday. Like legitimately, this happened on my birthday. We in Columbia, and Calipari is cussing out Maxey and quickly like a dog. And the starting point guard, Ashton Hagans, he didn't even look at him, bro. He was so fed up with Ashton Hagans, bro. He wouldn't even look at him, right? He wouldn't even talk to him. That's how mad he was with him. And I saw Calipari cuss at quickly so much that the dude legitimately was about to hyperventilate. Dre, the dude legit cussed out Emmanuel Quickly so bad that I think that man got dizzy and had to sit down. That's how, because he was trying to get his team fired up because South Carolina shouldn't have been beating them, right? It don't matter if you playing in Columbia or in Lexington. The Gamecocks shouldn't be beating the Kentucky Wildcats, right? So quickly coming, and this is my birthday. I'll never forget because we had to drive home in the dark. Man, it was cold as that. So quickly, legitimately put Kentucky on his back, bring Kentucky all the way back. And if I remember right, Kentucky wound up losing because I think somebody wound up, I think it was the center that just got traded. Not the center that just got traded. Oh my God, it may be the center that just got traded. Not Winion Gabriel. The one that got traded to Phoenix.
Bowl?
No, the Kentucky center. The Kentucky center.
Nick Richards.
It might have been Nick Richards fouled out. They bring in a young guy and they wind up giving up shots at the rim and Kentucky lose, if I remember right. But anyway, the point that I'm getting at is like some of these guys, like they legit are built for the NBA. You can see the guys stand up, not the super athletes, right? Because I watched Hamidou Diallo and I was like, that's Terrence Ferguson. You remember Terrence Ferguson? You remember when we traded for Terrence Ferguson?
A skinny, springy athlete.
The super athlete, the 6'7" shooting guard.
Can't score.
He could. He was a defender. Terrence Ferguson was a defender. He was what's the guy? Dre, what's the guy I like? The 6'5" guy from Philly. He was there when Philly was good. The light skinned dude.
6'5" Philly.
This they traded he wound up in Portland. Oh, Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah,
Matisse Thybulle. Okay, right. So, but so my thing basically, ultimately, I guess what I'm getting at, right, is like when Josh Hart got here, I didn't know that he was capable of being a Swiss Army knife. I thought he was a niche guy, right? You know how like you see a guy and they're like, well, if you just need energy defense, Josh Hart is your man. But Josh Hart got here and wound up being a Swiss Army knife. He can play the two when you want him to, play in the backcourt when you want him to. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, and you don't want it long term. But in the case of an emergency, Josh Hart can do it. Right? Josh Hart
he took advantage of his opportunity.
Yeah. And we took advantage of his opportunity.
And we took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never saw these things from Josh Hart. Josh Hart looked like, oh my God, AD, what's my guy? He used to play for the Utah Jazz. He was like 6'5", like 240. He played with Thurl Bailey and them. He was like a real stout shooting guard. He looked like
Dr. Duncan's. You ain't talking about
No, not him. No, not him. He was there during that time, like 86, 85, 86. He was he looked like he was bigger than Desmond Bain, but he was shorter than Desmond Bain.
Oh, okay.
He looked like he was like a muscle dude. Like, he legit looked like stout, like Anthony Mason, but he was like 6'5". But he was a great athlete, but he was like a Swiss Army knife for them. For Utah. I forget what his name is, but he kind of got faded out when Karl Malone starting. Right, when Karl Malone, when Stockton and Malone became a thing, then he kind of got
They faded him out.
Yeah.
They had Bailey for a second with Karl Malone, but they moved what's the name, especially to get Karl Malone room.
I think they traded away Antoine Carr and then brought him back.
Yeah, and they moved
Antoine with the goggles.
Right. And then when they moved what's the name to Detroit, it just really freed up Malone. But I remember the cat you're talking about. I can't remember his name though.
He's a light-skinned dude.
But Hart was similar into that. But he just made, you know what I'm saying? It's like some of those things I used to say about Sims. I'm like, you were here before Precious.
Yeah.
You were here before Precious.
Yeah.
And yet still, Precious came in and was like, oh, okay, this is a lane right here for me. Ain't nobody here. This is no competition.
Huck Party beat that man out in 3 months. Including training camp.
Including training camp.
Huck Party beat that man out just like that.
Freezie, you can see all them NBA centers that came and left him at Texas.
Yeah.
Came in, took his spot, and
Jackson Hayes, Mo Bamba, Greg Brown.
Another one in there.
Oh God,
he might have been there with Miles Turner. That's how long you've been there.
He's the kind of guy that get coaches fired.
Yeah.
When you invest too much time in a guy like that, it's like you got to see a guy like that when a coach is telling you, like, dude, I can't use him. You know, why is he here? And you're like, all right, in 3 months when we get, all right, 3 months later,
he got 4 years worth of NBA contracts at a number 58 pick.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau's a psychopath for that.
Yeah. And I think Tibs, I told Dre this last year, maybe the year before. I don't think Jericho Sims is a NBA big man. He looks like it.
But he's not.
Right.
He has the specifications to be one.
Right. But he's not that. I think if he took less preparation in being strong and more preparation in being athletic, I think he could probably hang around the league for a long time he's
afraid of the basketball, Freezie.
Yep, I know.
If you don't literally lead him inches from the rim, he's afraid of the basketball.
Yep. He's afraid. But the NBA can survive like that, and you can survive. You remember Dennis Rodman with the Pistons?
Yeah, but he won't survive much longer.
That was that era, Freezie. This era, you need to have some type of ball skills.
Yeah,
right.
Or you need to be elite at retrieving the ball.
Right.
He's neither.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I'm with you. I'm with you on that, especially when it comes to team needs. Like, in our team need is we're we're either extremely tall or extremely small, but we don't play people in the middle. Like, we don't play 6'7". We don't have much 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" depth in between,
No,
right? Like we have 1'6" guy that's gonna play. We have 1'7" guy that's gonna play, right? And then we have 1 7 foot guy that's gonna play. And then Precious I'm telling y'all, Precious is listed as 6'8".
he more like 6'7".
He might be 6'6".
Yeah, no, he more like 6'7". He more like 6'7". I was praying to God. I looked at the buyout or the potential buyout list. I was like, won't Toronto be silly and just cut Chris Boucher right now, right in front of the Knicks?
Right. Do him a favor.
Just do us this favor. Y'all ain't going anywhere. Just cut
We
Boucher
should, we
right
should
now.
just trade it. We should just trade it for him.
Yes, you needed him.
What though? Remember, he makes like 10
10
11
million.
million.
Yeah.
What would you give up? That's the thing.
See, and you would like Chris Boucher in addition to, and not in replace of.
Sometimes you gotta give up. You gotta give up something to get something.
The thing
is what you deem is more valuable. The Knicks have a glaring weakness for not as big as the big, but the above 6'7", 6'8" guy that's skillful. That dude could shoot all day,
and he can defend, bro.
And he can defend.
Right. The only thing about it is you can't trade them Precious. Remember, they traded Precious to us. Right. And so the looking at trading Precious, and we can't even do that because I think the way our salary structure is set up, I don't know if we can do a 2-for-1 outgoing like that. I don't think we can. But even with that said, I think the ultimate answer for us is going into our bench depth and playing bench guys.
You're gonna have to now. You done traded for a dude that's shooting 28%.
Right. Yeah.
You done traded for Anthony Bonner all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about DeLon Wright though that I like is if he's indeed a guard for us. Because I think Tibs the other night Tibs had him playing on the wing. And then that, as soon as that sent I think I sent a message to Dre. I think, or Dre, did we talk about it?
I don't believe so.
I didn't talk to you about the lineup: Precious, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, Deuce, and Cameron Payne.
It may have been someone else.
Okay. As soon as I saw it, I fainted. So I fainted, bro. I was like, wait. Are you playing Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright on the wings instead of playing Huck Porty? Why did that man play DeLon Wright instead of
you and you needed Haporti? That was a game where you needed Haporti. You needed Haporti to get some fouls, just to get rough.
They had Nehemiah's Kate out there, and he's their Huck Porty, and we can't even play ours.
No, I'm not talking about the Celtics game. I'm talking about the one before that. We were blowing somebody out.
Oh, at the end.
Yeah,
no. DeLon Wright did not show up for any Knicks game until the Celtics. He wasn't ready till the Celtics game.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
It was Celtics game.
Oh, okay. So it might have been. So it may have been yesterday. Okay. Excuse me, but to see Landry Shamet and DeLon Wright on the wing, and Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne as a backcourt with Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah, that's hideous. But gentlemen, I gotta dip out, man. But it was great as always, hanging out with y'all, man. Dre, say what's up to the Godfather,
I will.
I'll let me. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, all right, big dog. Yeah, Dre, yeah, man. I just can't. So my basketball senses are telling me that Pacom Dadier is not ready, right? I'm okay with that because Pacom Dadier won't be 20 until next July.
Is it this July or next July?
Or this July. I'm sorry, this July.
Yeah.
This July. Right. He won't be 20 for 5 months. I'm okay. I'm okay with Pacom Dadier not playing crazy minutes. What I'm not okay with though is us not finding a way to play Ariel Hukporti because he's the only one that fits a team need. Right?
He fits a profile and an athleticism profile as well.
Right. I saw the other night, I think Hukporti and Cat were on the floor at the same time.
That man was checking a wing.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even do nothing with him.
Yeah.
I think he saw like 1 for 9 on Hukporti.
Yeah, bro, the one shot he hit, well, it was a smothered layup fading off the glass, going away, and you like, hey man, that's skill. That's a top 10 guy beating a second round pick, bro. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just talent. Right? The shot that he hit over Hukporti, I was like, damn, Hukporti is all over. That's why when people mention to me like, yo, Uncle Freezie, what's the answer? The answer is try new stuff when you have time to try new stuff.
Low leverage minutes.
Yeah, because when April gets here, nah, April is not the time to try new stuff.
When April gets here, there is no break in case of emergency.
Right. Yep. There is. Yep. If somebody get hurt, the rotation is short. Sorry. If Tibs playing 8 men in the 8-man rotation, somebody in that rotation get hurt, Tibs playing 7 people. Sorry. Sorry. If
you know how bad it hurt him to play Jacob Toppin in that Pacers game? Bro. It broke his soul having to play him. And the only reason he had to because we were literally running out of bodies.
Yeah. So So these next 30 games, everybody, I know we alluded to it. I didn't get a chance to talk about the greatness, the contributions of Mikal Bridges. And I want to talk about, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Mikal Bridges, right? How he is very, very, very underrated as a Knick right now. Underappreciated. Yep. Him and OG, right? Jason Tatum went off for 40. And nobody's talking about, well, if OG was here. And that's one of the things we should be talking about. If OG was here, would we have lost by 30? No. We probably would have lost by 15. But we definitely wouldn't have lost by no 30 because Jason Tatum would have also had to play defense.
Yep. And first off, they wouldn't even run them double big lineups in the first place.
Right. And so these are the type things. So chat, these are the type things that I'd be wanting to get to be in the chat. I know y'all passionate about Mitchell Robinson. I know y'all passionate about Jalen Brunson. Right. I know y'all passionate about what Cat does well and what he doesn't do well. But I'm trying to get to these places, man, where we could talk about the two-way capabilities of Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. Like, we legit can't talk about the two-way capability of, for instance, when OG is out, Josh Hart is mortal, right? Josh Hart is the in the Justice League. Who is Josh Hart in the Justice League?
Aquaman.
You think he that powerful? I was gonna say that Cat is the Aquaman, and
I think this is the thing. Josh is the appetizer. He's not the full course meal.
Right. Or he can be the dessert.
Yeah.
Right. But he can't eat an entree roll.
Once you try to slide them biscuits up as a meal.
No, it ain't hitting the same.
No.
It ain't hitting the same. And the other thing too, Dre, I gotta tell my people, man. Hey y'all, we gotta be adults about dinner. Like legitimately, I had a dude the other night, Dre. We had dinner with somebody, bro, and they were legit drinking champagne at dinner.
Oh my God.
And we in our 50s, bro. We in our 50s, bro.
It's wine time.
Bro, what do we do? Champagne is for celebration. Champagne has bubbles in it. You may as well drink soda. Like when people gotta grow. People gotta grow up, bro.
You having a dinner, not celebrating your 50th anniversary.
Yeah, man. Bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Stuff like that be bugging me, right? Like legit dudes. Yo, King Ember, legit dude ordered champagne because it was expensive. He's like, oh man, look at the champagne menu. For what? On a Tuesday random, you drinking shit. Yo, it's crazy. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming out rocking. Remember, Mikal Bridges is a part of this team, man. Remember, Cameron Payne is a part of this team. We don't get to talk about Cameron Payne, how legitimately certain lineups allows Cameron Payne to cook, and then certain lineups is a detriment to Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne can't carry your offense, right? He can't carry your offense, but when you have him be a part of an offensive unit that's halfway decent, he can be effective. That's why he's not a starter, because he can't carry you, right? But when you play Cameron Payne with starter quality, at least one or two of them. When you play Cameron Payne with Cat and Josh, maybe, you can see Cameron Payne do some stuff. But when you have Cameron Payne with Deuce, Shamet, and Precious,
oh my God,
what are we doing?
Then you wonder why your offense is just struggling and goes
Yeah,
to a standstill.
And Dre, and legitimately, I mean, wanting to get to the point to talk about Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet. The Champagne lineup doesn't work.
Boo boo. I think I'm gonna keep it real with you. When he dislocated his shoulder, he don't even shoot the same way. If you look at his old footage,
Right.
and he's like forcing himself to come back from the same injury Randall had that took him out of the season. And he's legitimately trying to fight back because he knows his NBA mortality is on the line.
And I have nothing against that man, bro. Nothing personal, because I know NBA players have a tough road, bro. Like Dre, have you ever seen a professional athlete eat?
Oh my God,
Bro, chat. If
their
you
maintenance food don't even make sense. How much they got to consume and when they got to consume it and how they got to consume it
and what they're consuming,
yeah.
Bro, legitimately, y'all listen. I have the ultimate respect for professional athletes, right? But, bro, I'm not. Listen, I'm not criticizing, and that's why I don't have nothing against Landry Shamet, bro. My homeboy, no lie, one of my cousins married. Well, he wasn't a 5-star linebacker at the time, but he was a 5-star linebacker out of South Carolina. He went to the University of South Carolina, right? My homeboy, right? He went from eating junk food as a high schooler. Like, hey, mom, what's for dinner? Hey, I ain't cooked nothing. Oh, I'm gonna grab some of these Little Debbies. He could eat Little Debbies in high school and be the most dominant player and probably one of the most dominant players in the country, right?
Yep.
He got the University of South Carolina playing against other 5-stars, practicing against other 5-stars every day. And he didn't have no gas in the tank, and he was wondering why. It was because his diet, what he was eating, was bad. And so when you get to like this elite level, like, Brunson and all them guys, elite, they do so much to get to that point where they are. They sacrifice so much. That's why when you hear me talk about like critiquing these guys, it's never a personal attack, man. I absolutely respect these dudes to the ultimate, bro. Except Quentin Grimes, because his people was DMing me talking about what they'll do to me if they see me. But outside of everybody else,
Man, Freezie, once I saw it, they said that man didn't want to play because Max Christie was gonna get minutes.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, this dude's soft, man. How
Yeah.
you gonna expect your next contract and you don't want to be a competitor?
Right. Right.
You want it over the next man. He just too entitled. That's the reason why he left Kansas.
That's the reason why he left Kansas, bro. It's the reason why he left all these different teams. And guys like that, when they face adversity, they're not equipped to be anything other than the recipient of things handed to them.
Why he was never clutch. He was just a guy that gave you good minutes the first 3 quarters. But you ask him to hit a big shot for you in the fourth, you're not getting that.
And that's why teammates don't stand up for you, right? The reason why you move is because when you be on the outs, nobody come to your defense, right? Like dude's not coming, like, nah, man, we gonna work this thing out. They be like, man, let him go. That's just what it is. Like, man, nah, man, like that, we ain't worried, whatever.
Yep.
So, but everybody, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Dre, it was 3 whole hours, bro. I just wanted to do like an hour. I just wanted to do like an hour so I could get some sleep because it's tax time. Yeah, I don't know what tax time is like in wherever y'all live at, but where we are, man, offices be bustling. You know what I'm saying? You get stuff sent to you. You got to have people stuff, man. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So listen, this is the wave that I'm on, though, y'all. I tried not to tell y'all I wanted to talk about something else. But if I don't tell y'all I want to talk about something else, man, we're going to still be talking about Mitchell Robinson.
You got to put it in the title.
Yeah, man. We got to talk about something else, man. We can't be talking about Mitch, and we can't be talking about how one player is untouchable and one guy is not. No, we can't do that, bro.
Until Mitch is put on the injury report as questionable, I don't want to hear about him.
Right.
He got to be put on the list as questionable. He may play. Otherwise, I ain't.
Right. Yeah, it'd be the Mitch at Night podcast, bro. I mean, so, but anyway, we out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through rocking. Peace.
Peace.
So Aaron Rodgers.